Good afternoon everybody. Before we get into the show proper, can I just have a quick confirmation on sound as we're still waiting for our hardware to be fixed? Somebody could just tell us whether you can hear me. I've got Eddie with me as well. If you stand roughly where you want to stand, mate, and we'll sound check.
Sound check.
So if you could hear Eddie as well just there, let me know, because obviously we'll sort of do the best we can in terms of dual commentary. Just a bit tricky with the sound setup as it is. Cathay Spotter, thank you so much. Deborah Speller, likewise. Ken Alloway, crikey, I wouldn't want to get into quiz competition with you three. I'd never get the buzzer pressed in time. So right, let me just make a couple of little adjustments here. We had gone for the bagged up version of the camera, and it is a little bit drizzly still, and as forecast is a bit shaky. But Eddie's got the world's, well, not the biggest brolly, because I'm fairly certain Alibi 58 has a bigger golf brolly somewhere with his setup, but it's definitely a service enhancement for us. Hey ho. Right, let's just say hello to the chat. Just need to get organised first. That sounds me getting organised. It's right, we're all at fingers and thumbs at the minute. That's the thing about pop-ups. They really are living by the seat of your pants. So there you all are. Check if I'm in enough. There you go. Well, listen, good afternoon everybody. As you can see, brollied up. Lots of technical expertise in the shape of Eddie at my side. Crikey, tablet on the other hand, not quite so expert in my hands. So let's have a look. Deborah Speller, you've said hello, but double good afternoon, Deborah. Absolutely delighted that you're with us. Alibi 58, good afternoon to you. Simon Kirby, good afternoon, Simon. Let's have a look. Thunder in the area, yeah, that is Alibi mentioned. We exchanged messages not long before broadcast. There does seem to be some kind of yellow warning, so I think we're going to be okay for everything bar stair rod rain. We'll play it by ear, have a bit of ambition I suppose. If it starts thundering though, we'll rod it up toot sweet, because if there's anybody who's likely to get hit by lightning, it's probably me, certainly holding this lightning conductor. Okay, back to the chat. Aviation Adam, hello to you my friend. Oh, I've lost my page in the chat. Cripes, I'm way behind. Aviation Adam, hi mate. Cathay Spotter, we've said hi. Alexandra Wood, good afternoon Alexandra, hope you are well. Ken Alloway, good afternoon to you. Okay, zooming on down. Yeah, Alibi. Yeah, we really do like those odds, don't we? 97% chance of rain by 3 o'clock. We're taking it on. I mean, to be fair, I'll pan the camera behind in a bit, there's no question. Probably about a quarter of a mile behind us, someone's getting it. Good news is, as you say, it's only a 60% chance by 6 o'clock where we close the show. Star of the show will be the close down with the Air Alsie ATR72-500. It's due out at 6. We did wonder if that was taking Southampton out, but I think London's its destination, so we're not quite sure on that one. Back to the chat. I think I need bigger glasses, folks, really. Dopey Gorp, good afternoon to you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Hope you've got your feet up after a hard week slogging it out. Josh, confirming loud and clear. Thanks, Mucker. Much appreciated. Oh, Alexandra reports a very slight echo. I'm not sure if that's possibly Eddie's phone being picked up. That might have passed now, to be fair. We were just tinkering around at this end, so hopefully that's a moment that's passed. Dave Garbett, good afternoon to you, my friend. Les Donaldson, welcome back, mate. I hope you're taking it steady. Sam Thurlaway, I have no clue about the Emirates, my friend. To be fair, not that long ago we weren't. Oh, I can see a Jet 2 pushing back, so I'll wrap this up pretty quickly. Not sure, mate, if I'm honest. We really weren't expected to be here. Michelle Johnson, welcome back. How you doing? What can you see in here? Indeed, you find yourself at a fairly overcast and fairly light drizzly Newcastle International Airport. This may well work as a pop-up, or it may end up being a crashing disaster, but it's only half an hour down the track for us, so we thought we'd give it a spin. Taking on those 97% odds. Paul Usher, good afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Ooh, what else we got? Tabin Khan, good afternoon to you, Tabin. Welcome back to us. Josh Scott, good afternoon. I think I'm getting there in a fashion. Alright, so the Air Alsie is going to Southampton. I'm sure when I looked it up on Flight Radar yesterday evening, it was showing one of the London airports, but maybe as I dreamt about it in the night and it got itself reassigned.
I think it came in from London.
It did originally, yeah.
And it's heading out to Southampton.
Oh, maybe Eddie's put me straight. I've probably read the wrong movement on that. So spot on there, Aviation Adam, for keeping us straight. Right, that's enough from me. I'm going to switch things around a little bit. For anybody that doesn't know who I am, I'm Mark, the public face at the channel. My son Eddie is with us today, principally in charge of keeping me straight, because we all know I take a lot of keeping straight. Where's that plane that was pushing back? But brolley duty is absolutely, in all seriousness, intrinsic to what we're doing this afternoon. There's no way our setup will be resilient enough for the current forecast. It's just be out of our league, to be honest with you. Really would. Right, so what's happening? I can see something heading out on towards finals, passing the coast around Sunderland, so that'll be the Ryanair Dublin flight, and the Larnaca Jet 2 flight, which I'm sure has been called in the chat. Sorry team, just me catching myself up, is right there. So on air till around, what did we say, about 6 o'clock, didn't we?
Yeah.
Air Alsie is front and centre of what we're hoping to do. Sorry about the rustling, folks. I had jotted a couple of bits down for the pop-up around movements. So one thing at a time. So what we think about 30 movements or thereabouts, inclusive of Southampton FC, Ryanair, British Airways, Air France, KLM, Aer Lingus, Lufthansa, EasyJet and Jet 2, and not forgetting Scotland's finest, all on show during the runtime of the show. So plenty of good stuff there. We've got a couple of extras as well here, so by my last looks, and of course people will keep me straight through the chat, Executive Jet Management Europe have an incoming flight from Oxford, a Bombardier Global 6000 due in around 5 o'clock. So that'll be a bonus, a nice little catch for us. And earlier than that, actually, we've got a Beach King Air 260 in just after 4 o'clock. Sound in the background, veterans of this show will know, is the metro line that runs immediately behind us. So you're going to get plenty of that this afternoon, and with Newcastle having been at home, I guess there'll be a few more trains being laid on, dropping people to the outlying metro stations. So there you have it. All seat of your pants stuff, really, in terms of where we are. I really thought the weather was going to play us totally false. So back to the chat. So sorry if I've departed. Let's have a look. Thanks, Alexandra, confirming the sound is better now. That is good. I've got a feeling it may have picked up on the phone. It's pointed in the right directions. The microphone, as you'll know, with the sound pickup on the planes, is absolutely spot on. No question. Rode make really good mics. And I'm not saying that because they gave it me or nothing. I've just found that to be the case. So that's all well and good. Thanks, Alexandra, confirming the outgoing jet is a Larnaca bound flight. So Doris Petzers, if you are in the Lurkers Lounge, mate, that one will be coming in your general direction. Rab H, good afternoon to you. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're not getting any of the rain that seems to be pestering a lot of people. Josh left Newcastle an hour ago, pretty wet. Yeah, I've got to be honest, let's just take the spray coming off the deck. when I was checking on Flight Radar and kind of cross-referencing with the Met Office page, it had got fog listed here for a number of occasions in the morning, and I think the big worry for me was we'd get here and it would just be too foggy to do anything with. So the fact that it's not is pretty delightful, although if we can keep the heavy rain off, that will be good, and if we can definitely avoid the thunderstorms, that will be cosmic, because quite from the part of, point you might get electrocuted, it's more likely to create havoc, isn't it, with mobile signals and so forth. So don't want any of the above. While I've got people with us, and I will remind others through the show as we go, we are going to actually do the Edinburgh show that was planned for today. I'm losing track of the weekend already, which is a good thing. We're going to do it tomorrow is the plan. Same kind of time frames. I'll put the thumbnail out later, 7:45 through till around 1:30. There is a decent shower last I looked that might come through mid-morning, but I think it's one of those ones which, unless the forecast goes totally south, is worth throwing the dice on it, to be honest. I won't put it out though until after 6. Well, the show doesn't finish till 6, does it? But I'll take a final weather check and then just pack my bags, have my tea, go bed and then not check the weather again, kind of thing. Because I think the trouble with the forecast, it bobs around all over the place. Thank you, Alexandra Wood. We've got a BA incoming flight from Heathrow, not far behind the Ryanair. So, and I just got eyes on with the Ryanair flight. So it's too far off and twinkly at the minute, but just musing. It's interesting. We talk about what the weather's doing. We're in that window again where you think, do I bag up or leave it where it is? I think we'll go a little bit longer, because whereas it is drizzling, it's not unmanageable. I'll just get a paper towel to hand in case things need a periodic wipe. So that'll be the sound you'll be hearing, not me scoffing another snap bar. I scoffed all those before the show. Seemed to be the better thing to do. So, how's the bank holiday going, folks? I mean, apart from the fact that I can't think there's anybody in the UK that is having a barbecue, or certainly a barbecue they're enjoying. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong with that one. Just looking at the chat, yeah, Les, I'd seen something, I don't know where I saw it, about the Air Tanker 330. Trying to think who posted that. It was quite a nice picture I saw somewhere in the week. Trouble is, when you look at a lot of stuff, remembering where you've seen it seems to be a bit of an art form, but yeah, interesting. Michelle, listening and eating your late lunch. Well, do you know what? That's what it's all about, Michelle. Take it easy. No chance of you getting wet. You can sit there and see how the action goes. Hopefully we'll get the full run time today. If we don't, it won't be for the lack of trying. We're definitely up for it. Right, I think we can seek out our... devil's going on there. I'm going to take it in steady, folks, because getting a focus, it's snagging on something. Hope that's not a sign of rain coming from that quarter. There we go. Should get some belting spray. Not really, rubber smoke more than anything. It's like the F1, isn't it, when they dry the track out. Darren Graham Photography. Sunny all day at Heathrow, having a barbecue right now. That is just so unfair, man. I would have given you no odds on that. Although I'm pleased for you, like, don't get me wrong. I think, as you know, like my food, barbecue on a bank holiday, I'd have a piece of that. Oh man. Oop, crikey. I was just checking the chat, folks. Should be checking the planes. Not much point with a pop-up stream that doesn't have any planes in it. So, sorry folks. Just looking across the apron, see what I can see along the side. A couple of Jet 2s, which I think you saw in the opening shot. Looks like a Chewy 737 tucked in behind them. In the foreground, Eddie and I were discussing whether the British Airways plane that's parked up is in fact A321. They often have a single 321 movement on at Newcastle, on the Heathrow to Newcastle route, so whether that is that, I'm not quite sure. Looks like it. See a Logan Air Embraer 145, which you're going to see any minute now. Be ready for Scotland's finest. Left hand side of the screen, there you go. And it looks like gate 5 is where this baby is going, or no, gate 4 I think. Got that one wrong. Right, something else coming in, that must be the British Airways. Sorry about the rapid transition there folks, can't risk a telescope at this end of the show. If it were cricket you'd be enforcing the follow on by 5 o'clock. Guessing that's a 320. Wonder where they're going to stick it. Well, the Ryanair has driven straight on back round to gate 1, so I don't know. Rainer, good afternoon to you, my friend. Hope you're keeping well out there in Berlin. We've just been, well, I've been reflecting on how unfair it is, or the way life is. So the weather's pretty rubbish here. Pop-up's only possible because I've got my lad Eddie here with a brolley. In the chat we're talking about Heathrow being barbecue type weather, or certainly enough sunshine to be outside and have a barbecue. I think most of us who haven't got that would take that. Tell you what, the birds here just do not relent, do they? I hope you're getting that bird song. It's always good value here. Well, that's interesting, Alexandra. No chance of seeing the US Air Force Globemaster though. I'll be honest with you, I just looked at the sky there. I don't know why I looked, because I knew the answer to... Yeah, thanks Eddie. Nearly a telescope folks. Here's our Larnaca departure. There they go. Well done Eddie. There you go folks, that's why Eddie's here. Apart from keeping the kit dry and me organised, stopping me missing stuff that would constitute the reason why we're all here. Oh dear. But I can't accept a telescope, team, before you try and award me for that one, because it didn't get to leave the deck, unlike the other day, shamefully, where one landed undetected by me. Oh, just catching up. Ken, Rainer, you've got new hospital dates. I guess you're being pushed back then at that, rather than being brought forward. Oh, and what? 5 Sun Sunny in Berlin. Now there's the go-to destination for your holiday, folks. Layla Bergman, good afternoon to you, Layla. I hope you're well out there in Sweden. Is it a bank holiday weekend in Sweden, out of curiosity? I know various parts of Western Europe in particular May Day is a public holiday, but I'm in no way a holiday expert, sadly. Yeah, Simon, he's literally got me within arm's length, so actually if anything needs moving around or whatever, he can intervene. A bit like when you take your kids out, really, you know, young children, you can kind of keep them in grabbing distance so they don't come to mischief. Ah, well, there you go. Listen, you know I have my attention span disappears when I'm getting excitable about anything. Oh dear. Gotta say, Simon Kirby, not a good result for you guys yesterday, was it? Yesterday? Kind of surprised me after you'd done Brighton. Although we've got Everton Monday night, and I wouldn't bet a fiver on us actually doing it. I know I should Leicester be in my team. I think Eddie takes a more sanguine view of things, don't you, Eddie? In terms of Leicester's prospects.
Yeah, I think we'll probably win tomorrow night, I think. Only based on the premise, if we don't, it's pretty much game over. So I think,
yeah.
I think if you're not going to win those games, not much hope, is there?
Yeah, Alibi's dead right. It's very kind of you, Michelle, to surface that, but yeah, Mark manages it. I think Alibi's put it as concisely and accurately as could be done. Yes, it's you could almost say, thinking of Ken in my mind's eye in particular, but Alibi too, you know, we're the home of the one more very delayed plane, and we could also be the home of the one more missed plane. I'm not entirely sure. It's not one we're going to be putting on the thumbnail, I have to be fair. And Simon, you're right, mate, but here's the thing, I always thought I was looking for an older age point before we hit the crossover. You know, I wasn't looking to convert into Hans Moleman age 57, but there you go. Tabin, I don't know which way to describe to you, it's pretty near the airport. I think if you look at the footage and you look at a Google map, you'll pretty much work the geography out. And I reckon, depending whether you're a car driver or you come on the metro, the Callerton Parkway is probably your nearest metro station. Alexandra Wood, Jet 2 estimated departure for Lanzarote at 15:30. Roger that, Alexandra. That we'll keep our eye on that one. A couple of Jet 2s in the foreground. I don't think there is any on the far side of the terminal. There's a possibility of one. I can see a tail fin poking away. Ken Alloway, thanks mate, I always forget that thing, don't I? So as always folks, thanks for joining us first and foremost. You know, your support watching what we do is, you know, all we can ask, but the good thing is by liking us, if you do of course like what we do, let the train pass, and subscribing to us, and hitting the notification bell of course, so that you know when we've got things published and so forth. They help us massively with YouTube and don't cost you a penny piece, which is always pretty good. For those of you who are interested in supporting us in a more financial way, if I want to put it that way, we do have membership offers, which I'm not going to plug. I'm not going to do the hard sell during the stream, but just to say that you can generally find those on our homepage on YouTube, or towards the bottom of the chat window. I think it's like a $sign. If you click on it, it gives you some additional details. For those of you who are members, thank you so much. It's absolutely fabulous to have you with us. We hit a glitch with the Facebook page for our Exec Lounge members. We're pretty confident of having that open, aren't we, in the next day or so?
Yeah, so just an update on that one, that the group is already out there. I think it's called, off the top of my head, Plain Sailing Aviation Executive Lounge. So that already exists, so the things that we need to be doing to it is just sort of updating some of the imagery, some of the pictures involved. But if that's something that's interesting to you and you are a member, you can already send your request to join that group, and in the next few weeks we'll be getting to that, and next few days we'll be getting to that and making sure it's up and running.
I'm just looking at the super chat. Sorry, I was taken aback by Layla Bergman's very, very kind donation to the channel. I'm not sure, because I'm generally not as clued up as I should be. Sweden. Well, I know Leila's in Sweden, but I'm not sure what the SE krona, Swedish kronas.
Swedish krona. Yeah.
Give me a sign, Leila. I've called it correct. I'll be cock-a-hoop if I have. Swedish kronas. Thank you so much, Leila. That is so kind. I'm going to collect myself now. But do tell me if I'm right about what SEK is, because I'll feel alright. I'm not going to say the word I want to say. I'm going to feel uneducated if I've got that one wrong. Thanks, Eddie, on the Facebook thing as well, because that's important to us too. Because obviously communicating and sharing and all the rest of it is all part of what we do. Oh, Leila, you've taken me off balance, so I'm just going to collect myself. Oh yeah, I was reminding myself how Ali Bai was saying I managed to miss planes as well. Playoffs, Tabin I've spoken to. Oh yes, Simon, that was the other thing, wasn't it? It kind of fell away, didn't it, towards the back end. And to be fair, Brentford, if I remember correctly, not Eddie if I got this one right, at the start of the season we were beating them. Were we 2-0 up and they came back and pegged us for a point?
I think it was sort of second game in the season, something like that.
And to be fair, it was at that point you kind of realised it wasn't going to be a good season, and that was away for them as well, so they're pretty resilient. So Alexandra,
Simon Kirby suggests thank might have been the word you were going for.
Simon, it wasn't actually the word I was looking for. There's no kindness in plank, is there? I was thinking of something else.
Well, unless I've got that out of context.
No, honestly, yeah, I'm not joking. Ferocious. If I didn't know better, I'd be expecting some lightning to be vectored onto me as well at some point, just to add an extra line. Ah, okay, smashing. Yeah, so thanks Leila and Simon. Swedish krona. Mark got there in the end. Yeah, Ali Bai, this water's good for you thing. Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation, kind of, because of some of my medical stuff I'm not going to bore you with on a live show, obviously, and you end up having to consume, you know, plenty of water, shall we say, during the course of a day. And the one thing water is not is delicious. I'll just leave it at that, but necessary, I get that. Michelle, I'm praying I don't become a magnet. What you've got to remember is the show is in good hands, so as long as Eddie is not standing so close to me that he joins me in the hot club, that he'll just take over the camera, won't you?
It's more likely to be me on umbrella duty than...
No, but he'll probably give me the umbrella. We'll do an umbrella and camera changeover. Let's just rotate the camera a tidge. I think we'll leave the camera, leave it up, shall we, for a bit? Yeah. Let me just get the... We'll just pop the brolly back up because it's just slightly in that territory. A bit like Formula 1 when you're trying to work out whether to go from slicks to intermediates. And the brolly had got that much water on it that when it popped up we got showered, didn't we?
I do think if I was wearing some kind of pitwear branded with Plain Sailing Aviation, we could do a line of merchandise and that kind of thing potentially.
I think we're not going to be that channel, is what I think. So, for the avoidance of doubt, no, we're not doing that, Eddie. Oh dear, it's an hilarious thought though. I mean, to be fair, we've been working on it with the battery changes. I think Ken and Ali Bai in particular could attest to that. We've knocked seconds off our times on changing the battery. Still not brilliant, but it's better. Not quite as long as it would take you to change a car battery, but you know, comparable. Oh, good afternoon, I'm Henry Arth. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome back to the stream.
So you're saying there's maybe another 787 coming in tomorrow, but we were just talking about, I think there was one in today, wasn't there, off to Cancun? The two. So
we understand, although the weather was so foul earlier, we'd focused on whether we could actually get any kind of pop-up together, didn't we, in truth? We saw the Air Alsie listed and thought that would be interesting for folks, and then it was a case, is there enough movements? And I think 30 in the life of the show is reasonable enough, and then it's a case of, can we do enough with the weather? And like I was saying, with Eddie on the show, it's possible. If I'd rocked up with my usual kit, I'd be getting a little anxious at the minute.
I think talking about that Air Alsie, it's looking 1-1 Newcastle Southampton as well.
Is that right?
Yeah, so it might be a very happy flight home. Not for Leicester fans or Newcastle fans, both were on the same team.
Oh, that's interesting. So is the game still on?
So, yeah, about 60 minutes gone last time I looked.
Okay, well that'll be interesting. I was just taken by Ali Bai's comment about the flip-flop channel. Yes indeed, coming to you from July probably. We'll probably do
I'm just
shorts
working
and
on
flip-flops.
some sketches of Mark's face and see if we can get it on there.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll do a consultation with our members and see what they think.
Yeah.
Of course, remember that's just my dry humour. We ain't doing that. Not the flip-flop channel. I'll be honest with you. If I showed you where I'm standing, I'm in Wellington boots at the minute, and it's like standing on like someone's emptied 3 tubs of Nutella on the floor. Right, let's take stock of what's moving about. So I think Alexandra said we had an outgoer at 12:30. I think it was a Jet 2. I'm just scrolling back. Quite a lot of posts, which is good because the chat is what we do. Let's have a look. Oh no, Jet 2 from Palma, 25 minutes. When I looked at the scheduling, there was not many gaps, but as you know, with most airports, you tend to find that gaps turn up in the oddest of places. Hang on, we've got some transponding here, so let's stay with that.
I'm just enjoying seeing 2 British Airways on the deck at any one time, because usually it's 1 in, 1 out, isn't it? Pretty much at Newcastle.
Oh, Alexandra Wood. Yes, I can hear it. That'll be what that is it? So we can hear it, but we can't see it. 380 Emirates. Wonder where that's going, Glasgow or further afield? So we've got, thanks again Alexandra, Jet 2 from Palma, 12 minutes out, just north of Bishop Auckland. So,
push back there as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to, well, on it.
On it already.
On it. We've preemptively set the trap on this one, but we'll keep an eye out for the incomer. So this is the Lanzarote bound plane. And the incoming on that, as Eddie was saying, 1 in, 1 out, the incoming Palma flight.
So is that,
not far out.
A Jet 2 branded tug? Because I know they were moving to...
Let's have a look. That is a good call.
Ground ops, weren't they?
I tell you what, they've not hung around, have they? You're right, good shout, Eddie. It is Jet 2 branded. Friend of the channel, Mark at North Sky Aviation, who would be remiss of me not to say has a premiere out at, I believe it's 6:30 tonight. He was saying on our last stream that he's actually applying for a job with the ground ops crew with Jet 2. So it looks like they are getting out there and getting some recruitment done. It'd be great to have a man trackside as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Although he'll keep all the good snippets for himself, I would expect, but you know,
that's only right,
isn't it? Yeah, there has to be a dividend to having expert knowledge. Glasgow, thanks Alexandra. We're going to be back at Glasgow as well, somewhere I think during May. Just got to see where it fits. So on the last stream I was talking about putting something out to our members imminently around a couple of the trips we've got going in May. Plan is still to do that, put that notice out, if not tonight, tomorrow night. I'll try and do it tonight, to be honest, because it's all pretty much locked and loaded, and I like to be able to share with folks what we're doing. TCC, good afternoon to you. And you're right, the brilliant mods team, it's beyond compare. And I know I'm biased, but I still say I'm right, so it makes no difference, does it really? It's the same outcome.
I'll agree with you, so
there you go. Oh dearie me. Right, as always, I'm frozen on likes, and whereas I don't want to do a running commentary on likes, I'm stuck on 11. So was there any improvement on 11 team? Just looking back up the top, actually, I've just gone slightly out of sequence there. Michelle Johnson, confused easily, retired in 2015. Yeah, you see, I'm still in my infancy on that one, Michelle. I haven't quite got to that bit yet, but it's interesting how the days do blur off a little bit. Although I am not missing the grind. Alibi says hips were after him when he was younger.
Who? Oh, him, yeah, Alibi. Oh, cool.
Very cool, Alibi.
What position did you play?
No, there's a more important question than that. How does that square with the Hearts? I'm sure you're Heartsy, you're not Alibi. This is like for Eddie. Eddie was had some trials with Leicester City back in his younger days. A couple of trials, didn't you? Yeah. As we went along. And the thing was, I think Notts Forest were interested in him at one particular point, but that didn't come to anything. But I kept saying to him, if they want to sign you, clearly you're going to go with them, but how will it feel to put the Forest shirt on?
I think the weirdest thing is, I mean, I'm not a fan of either Nottingham Forest or Derby County, but I think I would have played for Forest and drew the line at Derby. I don't even know why, I just can't.
You heard it here first, folks.
Although, that said, if Derby would like to entice me down there.
What, like some sort of comeback, age 30 kind of thing?
Yeah, just give
What, like an overage player? You know, like you get these teams like the under-21s and you can play an over or whatever it is these days.
No, actually, you know what? I wouldn't. I'll tell him no.
Folks, be my judge. I don't think he would say no.
Exclusive.
I'm not sure at all.
That's-
Tina York,
that's-
Tina York, good afternoon, Tina. Sorry, Eddie, I cut across you.
I was just going to say, that said, if Jet 2, because I know we're looking at the Jet 2 now, if they would like me to fly planes for them, I would be happy to that.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that they're monitoring this stream, but all the recruitment people at Jet 2, Eddie is available. You did say piloting as against anything else, didn't you, with Jet 2?
Yeah, piloting.
Okay. I'll let you explain that one to Mrs. Eddie when you have to go away for however long it is to train. I've just seen Huddersfield Town pop up there, but I'm just wondering which. Are you? I've missed the preceding stuff. Are you Huddersfield Town then, Paul Rusher? Oh, but I say with the plane. Did we say this one was Lanzarote?
Yeah.
We did. I know it's been expertly called by Alexandra. It's the Palmer one that's incoming. I'm chortling imagining you in a Nottingham Forest Academy strip. I know Simon thinks it's be probably more of an accolade.
Wes Morgan did the opposite, and what a Leicester legend he was. So.
That's an interesting thing. We don't want this to be too contentious. What do you think, Simon? Wes Morgan, legend or something else? Only polite words in our chat, please. I don't want to have to set the mod team on you.
I'll bring it back to the aviation, probably.
I hadn't checked the wind out actually here today, but it's actually I lie. When I looked through one of the various iterations of the forecast, I think it was talking about possibly gusting up to about 18. When I was concerned that we had got some fog here, I thought, well, the fog isn't going to stay, surely.
So yeah, that Jet 2 Boeing 737 cruising along at 11 knots currently, ground speed, according to flight radar.
Oh, cool. Well, now they've got a gate free, so it's pretty sure odds that that's where they're going to be going. So, welcome to anybody that has just joined us. And I'm sorry if I've missed anybody in the chat. I do try awfully hard not to, but you know, it's me who's talking. Planes and Trains TV, good afternoon to you, my friend. Anyway, what I was going to say is I'm Mark, your host, joined today by Eddie, my lad, who also helps out with the channel. So you'll hear two voices on the commentary. So thanks for taking the time to join Plain Sailing Aviation on air, weather permitting. Sorry mate, till about 6 o'clock. We've got an ATR72 going out at 6, which we think has got Southampton FC on it. Air Alsie ATR72-500. So we'll have that. I don't think they'll be hanging around too much if they've taken any points off Newcastle, do you?
Let's have a look.
Although saying that,
Newcastle's ahead now.
Yeah.
Good for Newcastle.
Oh, we want them to win. We certainly don't want Southampton having a late renaissance.
It's weird because you're sort of torn with the aviation excitement that, of the Air Alsie. So because I've sort of split between the excitement to see it, because I think it's quite an unusual livery, as I can understand from the photo.
It was enough to get us thinking about doing a pop-up, wasn't it, really? I think, you know, I mean, 30 movements in the time frame for Newcastle, really appealing. But with a couple of biz jets in the mix as well, and the Air Alsie, it was just too much, really, not to do. So hopefully that will come off. And as I was explaining to anyone that's missed, we are back on air tomorrow from about 7:45. The Edinburgh stream that we should have done or hoped to do today, we're going to do tomorrow. We'll do a final weather check on that after the show and put the community post and the thumbnail out. If we end up cancelling that one, I'm changing the thumbnail, you know, because that's twice we've had to cancel with that particular thumbnail. I mean, that's got no bearing on the weather, I get that. But superstition, can't have 3 or something. I can see the Jet 2 from Palmer, Alexandra on finals. A little bit far out for us, but we have eyes on it. It looks like Chewy have pushed back as well. Has that been called in the chat?
It's still got Stairgate on, I think.
Oh, Rab H is on the ATR72 right now on the sim. What livery you got, mate?
Could start a bit of a debate. What livery looks best on an ATR72?
Oh, well, do I throw something out there?
I don't really have any options, to be honest, on top of my head.
Oh, I've got to tell you something completely different, which I know you probably know because you're more switched than me. Les Donaldson put me on through a comment in the week about a privately owned, it must be our owners, I've got it, most of it, sorry team. I was visualising the plane, and you'll understand why I've just gone all leery. I've got that one. The 737 with the Leicester badge on the tail fin.
I think that's only operating out of Thailand, because I've tried to look and see if that's what we fly about on domestically for the players, but I don't think it is. But so I know when Leicester's flown into Newcastle before, I've had a look, and I think that the aircraft reference there is only operating out of Thailand.
Behave, god of camera focuses. Is that rain easing or getting harder, do you think? Just
A bit harder.
It's not onerous though, is it? Yeah. A couple of birds taking flight towards the right hand of the side of the screen. A few puffs of smoke. Nothing much to see there, folks. All these happy holiday makers can get used to being back in time for Bank Holiday Monday in the northeast of England. Don't think they're going to get lucky with the weather here tomorrow, but I think it might be a better forecast than today. Fingers crossed. Nicola Carter, good afternoon to you, Nicola. Hope you're keeping well. Oh, Brab 8 is using a Virgin Atlantic livery.
Yeah, I think VA's Virtual Airlines.
Oh right, there you go. I don't know that. What do I know? This is why I bring Eddie along. Virtual Airlines have their own livery.
No, like so in the flight sim world, I believe that there's certain airlines that only exist within that. I think he said what the airline was after we got here.
Let's get the takeoff. I'm a very proud dad at this exact moment. It's back to that crossover that Simon Kirby was on about earlier on, when your kids, well they're not kids anymore, grown-ups, but they exceed you.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm sure he's...
No, I like that. I like that explanation.
They've had a few ATR suggestions as well. I think Simon Kirby went for Air Antilles.
Oh, I never know that one.
Les Donaldson says best ATR livery in silver, or is it silver flamingo? Because it looks like a flamingo. Not sure.
I see. It's a very cultured chat on this channel.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to be panning that way,
Yeah,
as you know, we'll just cut across. It's like an episode of Strictly Come Dancing, isn't it, really, trying to get your footwork going. Usually I manage to kick the tripod around now until I've got used to my standing point.
A lot of spray kicking up there.
Get ourselves back down to the deck. See a Jet 2 scampering somewhere. But of a Jet 2 convention. Although I don't think 2 makes a convention, does it really?
If it did, I'd be attending that British Airways convention over there. It looks very nice. I think it, don't know, is it an A321 and an A320?
Oh, Alexandra Wood, do say thanks to Fastest Funk for the shout out. Much approved. Crikey, I'm reading and not panning. Very kind. Michelle, yes please, folks. Please do hit that like button or consider it. If you don't like it, don't hit the like button, but I like to think that you like what you see, and of course if you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Easy as that. Costs you nothing, neither of those things, and somewhere in the algorithmic world of YouTube it does us more good to have higher numbers than lower numbers, which is pretty intuitive.
That's cool. I was just reading that comment that you just referenced from Alexandra about fastest fun live streaming from Geneva.
That is cool, isn't it?
Yeah. And very nice as well. Thanks to them for the shout out.
That really is.
Just said that, but
I don't think I've seen streaming from Geneva either, so we'll check that out actually, because that'll be interesting.
Planes and Trains wants to know if we'll be covering U2241 from Bristol next Friday. It's hard to say really.
Yeah, probably too soon. Is there a particular interest in that one?
Not sure though. And Derek Wilson saying, could you say hello to my daughter Amanda, who loves your channel?
Amanda, hello. Hope you're having a great afternoon and enjoying the weekend. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation, Amanda. You say now, Teddy.
Yeah, oh yeah, thank you. Thank you both, to you Derek and as well to your daughter Amanda. It's really, as you can tell, hopefully that we're really touched always by, you know, the support and any kind comments that you give, so thank you for tuning in.
Thanks Alexandra. I think this is, we're saying this is the Tenerife outgoer. I think we are, aren't we? It's probably easier for you to do the chat, isn't it, than me, thinking about it. A bit of both, like, but yeah.
It's got to be sharp on the umbrella.
Yeah, it's all about the umbrella here, folks. Not just about the telescopes. And Ken, thank you for those glasses, the emoji glasses. I'm not sure what magnification I need to put in as lenses, but
Planes and Trains says he'll be arriving on it next Friday.
Ah, right. Very good. Is he up here to do some spotting or socialising or?
We'll have to see.
Yeah, let's find out.
We
don't know at the minute what we'd be doing back end of next week. If we were doing anything on Friday, it would be Newcastle. I think that's pretty clear, because I think our embryonic plans are to go to Edinburgh again on Saturday, as we love it there. But the trouble is with the weather at the minute, it's just doesn't reward too much forward planning, does it? That's the trouble.
That's a bit of a tricky phase.
I know we're in April, and if you know the old thing about April showers and all the rest of it.
That bodes well for Edinburgh on the 1st of May tomorrow.
yeah. We're all about the May tomorrow, so perhaps we are going to do the flip-flops alibi. Shorts, flip-flops, floppy hats. I think Geneva's fully booked, Simon.
You know, he got me as well. I didn't read it out on air, but I was thinking who's Geneva?
Ah, Simon, you've got him. That does count. Actually, technically, that does count. You've landed one, Simon. Told you. Take your eye off him for a nanosecond. Behind us are a lot less fun than the ones in front of us, so as long as they kind of stay over there, we're pretty happy campers, aren't we? Right, let's continue this feast of Jet 2s. Last day of April, Jet 2 day, forever to be known as. Ah, excellent alibi. I've just spotted, like I do these things, the Cessna 525 Citation jet from Southend on finals. Absolutely bob on.
I like what Nicola Carty's saying about, I think it was, I've seen it from Nicola, that the heat that people feel when a plane door opens, it's a special feeling, that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Very envious of those passengers on the way to Tenerife.
That's when you know you've arrived, isn't it? When they do the doors and you feel the heat. Although many years ago, I can remember me and Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation going to Florida, and we arrived in the evening, as you imagine, air-conditioned transfer and all this malarkey, air-conditioned hotel. It wasn't until the following morning when I went outside the hotel, I thought I was sucking on a hairdryer. I thought I'm here for 2 weeks and I can't breathe. So yeah, you're right, the holiday starts when you can feel that hot air hit you, no question.
Simon would like to know if you're interested in any open-toed footwear for potential merchandise.
Yeah, I bet he does. Listen, Simon, I think you should pitch that one to Lewis at London Plane Spotting. He might be up for that one, I don't know. Lewis, you owe me one if you are up for that one. Simon will fit you up with some flip-flops for your merch range if you go that route. Let's just enjoy this citation. Excitations. I'm not sure if this one was listed when we set out. I might be wrong. I know we got the Beach Super King in at just after 4. And we had the Bombardier Global 6000, is it? That's in around 5. There was a VistaJet that had been scheduled that was cancelled, so whether they relayed a new flight plan for it. Is this a VistaJet owned one, do you know?
I'll check that out shortly. It's just Nicola Carter's making my jealousy even worse. Apparently she lives in Tenerife.
Oh, well done, Nicola.
And she can see the planes coming into Tenerife South from her house.
Ooh,
so
Nicola. And I've asked this before of a couple of people, but you sound like the best person to ask. What's the live stream potential? I know Chris at Speedbird's done a couple, I think, of good streams from, I think that's Tenerife. Is that Tenerife North or South, did you say?
Tenerife South.
South. North, did you know? I'm not sure.
So North's largely domestic travel from Spain and the other islands, but the South is where you'll get most sort of international traffic.
Here's the thing, because summer is definitely starting late round here, I am thinking it would be lovely to go and do a live stream from somewhere hot and sunny. Whether hazing becomes too much of a problem once you get into the summer. I mean, that's a problem we have here as well. If you're shooting long ways down the runway, single strip here, but it's the same principle everywhere, you tend to get a lot of hazing at the back end. Okay.
So I think that was, unless I've lost myself, I think that was a Beach King Air from Jersey.
If that was a Beach King, that was the one that should have come in at 4:05. So
lost. No, sorry, no, I've lost.
I didn't think that was a Beach King.
It wasn't.
That's definitely not that. I think it's what Alibi said. It's a citation.
Yeah, it's a VistaJet. Sorry, yeah, VistaJet.
Right, so they must have just relayed a new flight plan. I think that must be why it was on and then it was off. Shred ahead. Good afternoon to you, my friend. I see you've just subscribed, and thank you so much for that. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation. Just so we all know who we're talking to, I'm Mark, usually the public face and sound, but I'm joined by my son Eddie, who edits for us and generally keeps the show within sensible parameters and planning. You could say the brains of the outfit. That wouldn't be an unkind thing to say. Anyway, welcome to Plain Sailing. It's a real pleasure to have you with us. Christopher Boys, welcome back, my friend. Hope you're enjoying the bank holiday weekend. Bruce, good afternoon. And oh, okay, North is not as busy. See, this is all the kind of intel you want to know, isn't it, before you start pulling these things together. Or the risk is you find yourself at the right place at the wrong time, or even in the wrong place at any time. I don't know. Let's have a look. Right, Simon, so it was south that Chris went from, stream from. I watched some of it, I just forgotten which end it was, if I'm honest. Sounds believable, doesn't it? I quite enjoyed it.
So Dopey go up saying, Mark, please wish my daughter a happy birthday. She'll wonder what's going on now I'm casting to the telly.
It would be my pleasure, Dopey go up. What's your daughter's name? Oh, and how old is she?
We've got Claire Con tuning from the US as well.
Oh, let's say hello while we wait for Dopey Gorp to come back. Claire Con, good afternoon to you in America. Whereabouts in America? I always like to know where people are joining us from. The train's just gone by. Got a Ryanair scooting out. Don't know where that one is going, but we will do shortly.
She's 11 years old, says Dopey.
And her name?
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Alyssa? So how old?
11 years old.
Alyssa, happy 11 years, happy birthday, congratulations on being 11 years old. Thank you for watching us. I'm Mark, and this is Eddie.
Happy birthday, Alyssa.
So, have a great day, Alyssa. I hope you've had some great presents. and I'm hoping there's a good sized cake in prospect. Okay, just looking here, Dublin I think we're calling this one. Sorry, I'm distracted momentarily as I get, so it's basically off back from whence it came. To be 11 again, eh? What's been the plans, Dopey Gorp? Have you got a tea planned tonight, or are you off out for a meal, or? You can't whack being in front of the big screen watching plain sailing aviation, can you? I mean, I'd definitely say that, but yeah, 11, eh?
So Claire Conn's from Kansas City.
Kansas City. I'm just trying to visualise. What's your principal airport in Kansas, Claire? I tend to think of places in airport terms these days.
And Nicola's just laying it on really thick, telling us about how Canarian residents get a 75% discount on inter-island flights and flights to the mainland, so that's a nice little perk.
That's a hell of a perk. You couldn't imagine that happening in the UK, could you? I mean, I don't know what they always say, don't they, that rail journeys are subsidised, but you ever go and buy a ticket, they never really look very subsidised. Staying out the politics, of course, folks, but just in terms of perks that you get.
We have Pedro S from Spain. Buenas tardes, Pedro.
Oh. Welcome back, Pedro, from San Sebastian.
San Sebastian.
You won't have met Pedro through the chat yet.
Not yet.
Pedro, my son, Eddie, speaks fluent Spanish, so that was a little bit of him showing a flourish. Political bias, good afternoon to you, my friend. Hope you're keeping well. I'm guessing, in fact you're our forward watch here, because you're not as northerly as Ken and Alibi and some of the other viewers, but Rothbury, what's the weather doing in that part of the world at the minute? Ah, right, Dopey Gorp, out last night with family and friends, absolutely fantastic. I'm not just saying it because Eddie's at the side, but I wish I could have some of those years back, I really do. I really do. Because they grow up so fast. One minute you're celebrating their 11th birthday, the next minute they're standing behind you with some Sports Direct blooming golfing brolly. Other brollies are available, I suppose you're supposed to say to that. Oh man. Yeah, political, I'm with you, mate. I want a time machine. I would make a lot of use of it.
It's interesting, so Nicola's obviously again trying to make me feel terrible here, talking about a €5 flight from Tenerife to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. But actually I saw in a few weeks time there's a couple of flights from Edinburgh airport to Santiago for €13. So
really?
Anyone who's interested in that city, visiting that city, beautiful city by what I've heard. So keep an eye out.
Eddie has a secondary job with the tourist board.
As I'm sure a lot of the chat are as well, just aviation enthusiasts always looking for a little trip.
I mean, to be honest, if you can get somewhere interesting or worth exploring for that kind of sticker price, you can't get far on a train for that money, can you? Let's put it in context. We found that in Dublin the other week. Just looking at the abbreviation from Claire Con, IMCI for Principal Airport in Kansas. Because I just think Kansas City, but that's really me not thinking outside the box. Exposing my lack of oh, hang on, MCI.
Yeah, MCI. Kansas is just Kansas City International.
Mason Jason Aviation, good afternoon to you, my friend, and welcome to the show. Right, let's get this Dublin returning 737, courtesy of Ryanair, safely dispatched. I'd like to make a comment about the rain at the minute, but we'll wait for the sound of the engines to pass. Still pretty dark over there. Let's celebrate the fact it's not pretty dark over here. So what we're going to do here, I see that Chewy's got steps at the front. Doesn't look like anything's much happening there, but I'm just going to rest us there, folks, for a second. Take a little breather, have a swallow of water. think we were saying earlier on in the chat how delicious plain water is.
Got to be relatively sharp mark. We've got another Jet 2 just lining up.
Oh, in which case, there you go. Check Eddie out.
And apparently the citation's on final as well from Jersey, so that was the one I was making a hash of earlier.
That's okay. A lot of moving parts, and I think we're kind of moving around with the brolley and stuff to keep the...
Correction again, the Beach King.
Beach King! Yeah, well, enough said. Very good. Yep, and here's our rapidly approaching Beach King. One in, one out.
I hope that came through good for the folks at home, because that one put the hairs up on the back of my neck, the engine noise on that one. I'm not sure if there was extra thrust levels selected or what was going on.
Well, I suppose that'll be a test on the camera, on the microphone, won't it? Sounded, you're right, blooming good. Sadly, to pick the sound up off this at that distance, you'd need a shotgun mic about 7 meters long. But an attractive sight nonetheless. Jonathan Martin, good afternoon to you. Hope all is good. Welcome back to the show. Oh yes, Claire Con, you are so right, Claire. Thanks. Please do hit that like button. Give us a treat. Does make our day. And if you're not yet subscribed, we'd love to have you with us. Remember, the more it helps us with YouTube, the more we can kind of do with the channel. And if folks are interested in the membership link, just click on the button at the bottom of the chat, I think it is, the $sign, and you can find out what you need to know. All well and good. Of course, those of you who are members, just so delighted to have you with us. And remember, make liberal use of your emojis when the moments arise. Favourite plane, special livery. Heavies, we haven't got any heavies, have we, today, sadly?
No, not anticipated, anyway.
Yeah, plane of the day we can do, can't we?
Yeah.
And of course, as we get more subscribers, isn't it, we get more access to more emojis. Members, is it?
Yeah.
Oh right, that's interesting. I didn't realise that. I thought that was subscriber. So what's the next step up? Or do you want to whisper that one too?
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I don't know either. We've kind of focused on the here and now.
Just put planes in front of me and my mind goes elsewhere. So
yeah, I'm just going to have a quick check on battery situation as the rain is largely abated. The good news is, folks, we look good on juice. I didn't think we wouldn't be, but you kind of ignore these things at your peril.
Bruce asks, does it always rain in Newcastle?
I think what I'm going to say, Bruce, is let's see how it flattens out as we do, you know, watch more of the streams. We do seem to be on a bit of a sequence at the minute, I'm not going to kid you.
And the guys are filling the chat with emojis. They're looking, yeah, version 2.0 is looking a little bit easier to read.
I see Eddie is always ceaseless. Somebody on finals, what we're saying on finals, let's just quickly catch up with the chat.
Michelle's asking, is the cold affecting your batteries? Quite warm. Well,
no, we're doing okay, Michelle. That does make a difference. It really does. I tend to have this habit, which I've learnt the hard way, if I'm honest, of just checking stuff relentlessly, because it will let you down at some point. So Air France is the next incomer. An Embraer standard. It's gone a lot darker, hasn't it, all of a sudden?
Yeah, it does, because Shadow Head's warning us of a thunderstorm.
Shredder Head, yeah?
Shredder Head, so.
Shredder Head, thank you very much. Although that's the bit where we run for the hills, so I wonder which way that's coming from, because it's a lot darker behind us.
So what we've got coming?
Yeah, got a very slight crab on there.
This is the Air France.
Air France Embraer 190 standard. I can see a Jet 2 737 taxiing out. So we're good on continuity. I think we've just got a challenging passage. Can you work out roughly where you think the clouds? Yeah, I can see them going across us, aren't they? Look where the windsock is.
I think it's just going to be one of those days, see if you're lucky or not, because there's lots of gaps in the cloud. It's just intermittent showers.
Well, listen, we're going to surf this as much as we can surf it. Staying with the water puns, really. I think I talked in the community post about taking the plunge. I'm really hoping that doesn't turn out to be a prescient word. Anyway.
So I think Air France is one of 3 flag carriers we're looking at today. We've obviously got the British Airways, the Lufthansa's coming in, I think, a bit later on.
Yep.
We've got Air France in front of us right now.
KLM.
KLM, 4 flag carrier.
And, not forgetting our colleagues north of the border, do we argue that Loganair is Scotland's finest? I'll have to say with the plane, mate. Does Loganair
count as a flag carrier? Well, there's a debate for the chat. I think
we'll throw it out there. I think it does.
Yeah.
It's a scheduled airline, isn't it? So it might not be formally a flag carrier, although I don't know it's not. Right. What's on its way in? I can see something. Well, they're interested. It's a helicopter of some sort. I can't see it on flight radar. Okay, folks, we're going to give.
Got very dark, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's never a good sign, is it? If, just for the avoidance of doubt, if all of a sudden we stop panning and you hear a lot of rustling and bagging, it's just because we've gone into lockdown mode.
Full wet weather.
Full wet weather. Going to full wets. Monsoons.
Good afternoon, Wayne Hartshorn as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, hi Wayne. How you doing, mate? Long time no speak. Hope you're keeping well.
Also, Fast as Funk, thanks for joining us. We heard about your top stream in Geneva and the very generous shout out you gave us as well, so thank you for joining the chat.
Yeah, that's really appreciated, my friend. Really appreciated. We're going to check your action out later, aren't we?
Yep, definitely.
Give credit to Alexandra on that one. Kind of put us together. Another metro train in the background. It's a very green looking chopper, isn't it?
Good afternoon, Carl Shield as well.
Carl Shield, how you doing, buddy? What's happening in Dublin? Got to be something happening. Anything interesting passed through the airport today? Apologies if I've missed you in the chat. It's never on purpose. We've got plenty of folks with us today, which is absolutely fantastic. So anyone that doesn't know who we are, that may have joined and isn't in the chat, oops, crikey, keep up with the action, Mark. I'm Mark, as I just revealed, and to my side is Eddie, my son, who does the editing side of things, and keeping the brolley up over me today and generally stopping me from too many bloopers per hour. I think we're doing reasonably well on that, by historic standards, if not absolute terms. Dalaman bound Jet 737. Get my numbers in the right order. And we're off. No ceremony. This is probably around the time you see the Fort Lightning in the background, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I tell you what, I mean, I know it's been commented on already, but the Jet 2s that are going overhead at the moment, the noise off it is... they're just 737s as well, but am I enjoying it? I need to get out and about a bit more with you, Mark.
Well, I'm enjoying it. The main prerequisite is you don't get wet, which is a good thing. You're in good company, and we're in good company this afternoon. Doris Petzers, good afternoon to you, my friend, out there in Nicosia. We saw a Larnaca-bound flight at the top of the show, didn't we?
Yep.
Very much Clarecon, up and away. They're definitely going where the sun shines brightly and the sea is blue. Looks like we have a runway check here. We're not tracking all the way. You can see the fire. For those of you who don't know Newcastle, there's the fire station, centre of shot, and just bringing things back. So we were on the tower.
See, I'm getting more nervous for rain now because the air temp's just dropped.
It is markedly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where you're laying on a sunbed, isn't it? And the sun obscures, the cloud comes from nowhere, obscures the sun, and you sense the drop. It just suddenly feels 2 or 3 degrees, and the breeze has picked up a little bit. It's still not windy though, in the scheme of anything. We'll not be marketing this as high winds at Newcastle, will we?
No, not for now.
Tony McCall, welcome back, mate. I hope Sunday's being good to you, my friend. Don't know if you saw my post, Tony, to your comment. We are hoping to do Edinburgh tomorrow. Looking to be on air, basically today's show tomorrow. In fact, I've had a quick reckon up. We get a few more movements in tomorrow's show as well.
And also, good afternoon to Andrew Flyer from Inverness.
Good afternoon, Andrew. Up there in Inverness.
I've been there once, Inverness Airport, as part of the Air Cadets as a kid. So
yeah,
nice.
What's your abiding memory?
I enjoyed it.
There you go. That's cool. We're not quite going to Inverness, but we are going to be going to Aberdeen in the next few weeks. More details out through the members newsletter initially, but obviously we'll communicate that more widely as we go. It will be a stream open to everybody, obviously. We're just got to tie some details up, really. Details.
Cool. Well, good afternoon to Zane Dad as well. Thank you for joining us today.
Zane, welcome back, mate. I hope Sunday's been good to you. Been good to us so far, isn't it, really? He says there's a big fat spot Sunday starting coming down.
I do quite enjoy sort of a bit of Sunday afternoon plane spotting at Newcastle. I think it's hard to choose a time of the day, but there's something quite calming about it. I don't know why. But.
Well, I think the thing was when we said we'd do a pop-up, because we hadn't managed to do Edinburgh, there's the motivational pull. But also, I'll be honest with you, it's quite nice, isn't it, back end of the day? The challenge is always getting the right number of movements in place.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no point in us. At the minute, we've got a small pause in play, but we've got that priced in, folks. But you don't want to have the afternoon looking at static planes and tarmac.
Just jumping on a comment from Zane, we are definitely excited to see more 787 action in Newcastle for summer 2024. It looks like TUI, incidentally, are expanding quite a lot of operations at a number of airports at the moment, but obviously we're very excited to be a beneficiary of that as plane spotters at Newcastle Airport. I
think they've assigned a 5th aircraft here as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm not sure if one of the 787s will be based here or I don't know.
I don't think it was that prescriptive. I think it worked out. They might have confused this with something I'd seen around Jet 2, but I think it was something like 12% increase in seats. I
mean, I assume that's a 737 on the deck at the moment.
Yeah.
Just sometimes the curvature of wing from certain angles sometimes gets me a bit excited thinking about 7.8s, but I think that size-wise it looks like a 7.3 from here.
You're right, Wayne Hart, sure. It is looking dark, mate. It is the thing we keep nervously looking at, because I reckon if we're unlucky, it will proper dump on us. Equally, if we're lucky, we'll be watching it dump over the other side of the airfield.
Yeah, I think it's the thrill of the chase.
It's the thrill of the chase. I think, let's be honest, right, the amount of electricals that come with outside broadcast, there can't be, even the streamers who've got proper Olympic quality wet weather protection, it's always an element of risk in the wet, isn't it? You know, electricity doesn't generally have a great tolerance of of water. Hey ho! Right, I suppose we'd have a quick butchers on flight radar, see what's lining up. The Air Alsie was due in, wasn't it, at 4:45, so... And that was coming in from London Stansted, we said, did we not?
Not sure which London airport.
I've got an idea it's Stansted, but there we go. I can see Ryanair have got a 737 Tenerife incomer, just crossing the coast near Whitley Bay, so that'll go out, do a nice little U-shape on flight radar if you're following it that way, or not quite a U, and come in over Seaton Sluice for its final approach. I used to find when I mean obviously I'm retired now, but when I was working during lunchtime, if I couldn't catch somebody's stream, the next best thing was actually getting flight radar up and just zooming it in on an airport somewhere and watching the movements. That's runway control. I'm not sure what's flashing there below the dip of the grass line.
I think that's the threshold entry from the aviation park.
Is that what that is? I can't be certain.
I think so.
It's deceptive because it falls away by 4 or 5 feet. So sometimes there'll be things parked there. Small aircraft are usually the one. You know, the light aircraft. They're the ones where sometimes they literally come out of nowhere. Ewan with Doncaster. Oh, here we go. Ewan, good afternoon. Sorry, Ewan, I jumped in too much of the message there. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show. Andrew Flyer, welcome to you. Hope you're doing great, or better than. Roger Knott, likewise, my friend. Welcome back to the show. Sorry, Eddie, I thought you were going to say something there.
No, I was just going to jump on that as well. Just saw a couple of people saying hi, so I was just going to say hi to the same people you were going to say.
That's all right. Well, you have privacy. Yeah. You can tell we are not a tribute act to Kevin and Rudy, are we? Great as they are, we're just not.
I love watching those guys.
Me too. We're not at that level, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But we have great fun, nevertheless. Oh dear. So thanks, Alexandra. I will confirm as soon as I can see that. Oh, I can see it. Crikey, my eyesight must be getting better at the far distance stuff. It's not worth panning the camera to, but I can make out the lights in the sky. That's a good thing. Bizjet, oh thanks Alexandra. Bizjet to Luton now pinging. Must have been presumably, I wonder if it's that citation that came in earlier in the show. Been on the deck long enough now, hasn't it? Oh, we'll look out for that. Melody R, hello and welcome to the show. You've been here before, have you? And you're in Canada. Are you from this part of the world before, or did you pass through here for family visitation, or do tell? It's always interesting. And what part of Canada? Keep my eye on that horizon, no question. We say Tenerife, didn't we? Ryanair Tenerife flight. Oh man. Zane Dad, thank you so much, my friend. KLM 737, I'm guessing that is. That'll be inbound behind the Ryanair. So we've got continuity of action. Doris Petsus. Oh, sorry, you go with Doris. I'm going to.
Yeah, I was just going to with my big umbrella here. Right. Yeah, Doris. I just saw that in there. I've always enjoyed, as a customer, is there anything I can talk about? I've always enjoyed flights on TUI, although not been on one since pre-pandemic. But yeah, nothing more to say on that from our end.
Where's she based, Doris? Is that going to be Cyprus or somewhere else in Europe? But yeah, I'm with Eddie on this, because obviously Eddie went on a lot of the holidays we went on as a family, but pre-Eddie and post-Eddie we used TUI a lot. Don't think we've had a bad one.
Now the place in Canada looks like a test for pronunciation.
Aha!
Regina Sass.
That's a weird. I'll have to look at it on the tablet. So let's have a look. Melody R. I came to Newcastle from Regina Saskatchewan. Listen, I know that's not how Melody would say it.
Yeah, so apologies to everyone from Regina. I'll go for it again, Saskatchewan. But yeah, really cool. What brought you to see the UK? Yeah, nice.
Ken raises a good question. Still snowed in. Because obviously some parts you've still got that. Let's make sure I get this plane.
20 degrees C.
Oh, really? Well, no one snowed in at 20 degrees C. Pedro S asked about the horse racing. Honest answer, Pedro, and I know there's other people on the chat who are local to the area. I really don't know, my friend. I really don't know. I used to quite enjoy the races when I was younger, but these days it's kind of fell off the radar. Great fun as it is. Looks like it's wearing some kind of Hawaiian garland, doesn't it, the lights at the front? Although it definitely isn't. So, thinking about Zane Dad's post, that must be KLM, that is the one that we can see twinkling further behind. Keeping an eye on the business jet park as well, because that citation, if it is the citation, will snick out fast as anything. They're a bit nippy.
Wayne asks, any update on the Saudi Arabian airline starting operations here at Newcastle?
No, we discussed that actually, Wayne, in the chat a few weeks ago, because obviously the tie-up with the football club is well established, and representatives from Saudi were at a game at St James's Park pre-Christmas, if I remember from the local press.
I think they used the airline for a winter training, maybe PR as well, related exercise around that kind of Christmas. I think it's around the World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the World Cup was on. But
yeah, but is that not the thing as with Man City, where you've got to think about how you stay within or push the financial fair rules to their full extent, perhaps?
I'll leave that to the guy on TalkSport.
Yeah, I'm not really. No, and I'm not going to the rights and wrongs, but I'm thinking about Man City.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Etihad.
I don't know how everyone works the financial fair play, to be honest.
Point is, you can see why that would be a logical thing to do. But if Saudi don't want to sponsor Newcastle, we'd have them at Leicester, wouldn't we? I think would be acceptable. Although, to be fair, it would really add something to the plane spotting experience here. Can you imagine if we had a daily Saudi flight through, like we do with the Emirates Triple?
Yeah, it'd be great.
We'll have a piece of that, folks. So Saudi, if any of you execs have got your feet up at the minute watching plain sailing aviation at Newcastle, let us know where you are with the route planning, folks. A lot of people out there would like to know. There we go. As I always say, folks, one of the happiest liveries in aviation, in my opinion, second only to Edelweiss. Personal opinion, not statement of fact. They're so smiley. It's the weirdest thing, you know, when we did Amsterdam a few weeks ago, seeing, I mean obviously we see it on other people's streams and photographs, but in person, seeing something different to Embraers and 737s and KLM liveries feels really different. No, triples in particular.
I was very jealous watching at home. I was in the chat, looking at all those beautiful KLM aircraft. Certainly the long haul ones really look something special.
Well, here's the thing, and those of you, I know Twitter's not everybody's bag, but those of you who do Twitter, we retweeted, say it correctly, a fabulous picture that Avgeek Mel posted yesterday as well, and that was a KLM 747 around 2015, 2016 at Schiphol. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
So Claire asked, umbrellas.
I've just been gouged with an umbrella, folks. I will sue.
So yeah, Claire asks, has the Emirates 777 been today, or is it due out today? Was the question?
It would have been and gone. I think. I'm trying to think. One of our viewers did ask earlier in the chat about that. Was it Sam? And to be honest, I really don't know. Usually it's due in on the summer timetable, 12:05, goes out at 1:45. Lately it tends to come just a little bit earlier and depart just a little bit later, but no, it's well gone. See where the Ryanair plane is now that we're looking at? That's where the Emirates Triple parks up. That's its regular berth. I do get forgetful, as viewers will know, but I think that was gate 18 or something in that region. Somebody did tell us this.
From the passenger side, I think it's gate number 7.
No, it's not. Well, no, behind the Ryanair. So if you imagine, you know where it normally stands. So if you took the Ryanair out of the picture, the Emirates Triple is a bit further back behind it, so it's in that kind of space where the air bridge is.
I think we'll have to.
Yeah, well, I think that's the only way to solve it. Although there was all British Airways are pushing back, so let's have a look. See. So this will be the A320 on its way back. It looks like that A321 is overnight in here, the one that's at gate 3. So anybody that's down here tomorrow will probably see that go at 6:05. No, we contacted the airport. I think one of our mods, Nell W, had asked the question about get the number of gates here. So we asked the question on that one, and the question extended from our end. I think somebody else had asked which gate is it that the Emirates uses, and I'm sure they said gate 18. I would have prepared better for the show, folks, if I hadn't been sort of unconvinced that the weather was going to play kindly enough. Zane Dad tells us there's an Aer Lingus inbound. Excellente. And Alibi's got the kettle on by the look of it. Do I like that idea, Alibi? Go on, as dry as a box of sand here. Oh man. Ali, good afternoon to you, mate. Hope things are good with you. Oh, just thought my plane had cleared off there. Thanks, Alexandra. I have got my eye honed on the horizon. I can see the twinkle in the sky. Just not worth chasing yet with the zoom. So, for those of you who like their turboprop action, prepare to be dazzled.
I've got a question from Ewan as well about the 2 British Airways. That's all I've been going on about this afternoon. I'm very intrigued by it as well. I don't know if we can get. Are we looking at that right now?
I am looking at that question. So I think the plane that is to the left. I mean, I might be wrong on this. I'll have to. Hang on, they're both transponding now, aren't they?
Are we on,
oh no, it's not. It's the. Well, sorry.
Are we on the screen on that?
I'm on it at the. I'm on at the minute. Yeah.
It's quite an iconic shot for Newcastle. I think 2 British Airways tail.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a picture of that just for Eddie's scrapbook. So your screen will have stuttered there for a minute.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll superimpose my face on it, and that'll be Eddie's birthday card or something similar. It'll be moon-pigged. So yeah, we're going to Y2 at once. I'm guessing it's something to do with the way they're rotating the aircraft through. My hunch is that's going to go out first thing in the morning, but there is a further British Airways flight due in at 9:30, so whether that's been cancelled and that's therefore parked up.
Just talk about noises as well. I can hear the British Airways sort of starting up its engine, spooling it up. I'm not sure what the correct terminology would be, and it just gives me flashback to being actually on board and the excitement the passengers would actually be feeling right now. And I'm thinking,
Ooh, I've just been taken, just while you're reminiscing there, I've been taken by Claire Conn's comment. She's actually flown a 74 KLM. I was talking about that picture the other day. Just how cool is that? From Amsterdam to Detroit. Wonderful, but came down with a bang. It's funny you say that, because when I went to Amsterdam the other day, and it was brilliant in both directions from Newcastle, although I was bemoaning the fact I was in a 737 both ways, whereas I was hoping to get at least one trip on an Embraer, but the actual landing here was a proper thudder. I mean, people joke, don't they? They say Ryanair, it's a standing joke, are often heavy, whereas I found Ryanair from here has been as smooth as silk.
Yeah.
Wouldn't spill a cup of tea. Whereas the KLM landing here proper jarred me. It was like, wow.
To be fair, if you imagine how many takeoffs and landings, to get it perfect every time must be some ask, isn't it?
I've got to be honest with you, there is no criticism of the pilot, because you know, the skill levels involved were fantastic. But it's just the thing, when you sat in a seat, you always notice the one that doesn't hit the deck hard. Well, you do when you're 57 anyway. You young guns can probably stomach a hard one. There we go, some turboprop action coming to you now. Let's get a bit closer. I don't think it's going to take right. Look at that. You wouldn't have spilt your cup of tea on that, would you? I bet the pilot could have been drinking a cup of tea and not spilt anything with that. And they do tend to move about a little bit more, don't they, the ATR72s, or certainly your turboprops, so they catch a gust at low. Something I've noticed here sometimes. Might not be an excessively windy day, but you see them pick a little bit of sway up on the last few feet.
Got to be honest with you, I think that's got to be a target of mine to be a passenger, because I've never been on a turboprop as a passenger or as a pilot.
I've got to be honest, I think I've said this on other streams, Eddie. I was hoping, when we did Dublin, I was hoping we could do it with at least one leg with Aer Lingus. What we couldn't do was the times. And of course Ryanair were the more competitive on times and price, so it was Ryanair who took us there and back.
Yeah.
You know, for probably less than it would cost us to get from here to where we live in a taxi. We'll stay with this. British Airways are taxiing out, folks. We might get a 2-for-1 shot on the go here. At some point there'll be a crossover. David Palfreyman, good afternoon to you, David. I hope you're keeping well. Welcome back. Another of our valued members.
This Air Alsie is getting me excited. I'm just looking at the livery. It's a special livery. It's called a...
Deploy your excitement and tell me where it is.
Where it is, it's airborne, and I think Alexander...
There you go, there's your 2-for-1.
Alexander told me, or told the chat, I think it took off from New Biggin Hill.
Oh right, cool.
Biggin Hill, sorry.
Biggin Hill, yeah.
Stuck in my...
You're thinking of New Biggin.
New Biggin northeast.
Audrey, if you are in the lounge, let us know, because I think Audrey was living in New Biggin. I think she moved, I can't remember.
I know, it's cruising at 8,125 feet, just over Durham.
Folks, prepare for action. Oh, looks like gate 1 for this baby. So we're not going to get to see much, as it looks like it's buried itself in the embankment, doesn't it? We'll find British Airways. Where's British Airways? Come on. Go on, you've seen something that's amused you.
No, I was just thinking, I always watch on other streaming channels, people talk about sort of #1 flight being tracked, and I was thinking, imagine if the Air Alsie entered plane spotters around the world and thinking, what's going on here? If this Air Alsie was being one of the top 3 tracked aircraft in the world, I was just imagining.
Pedro S, I've just seen your exit message, my friend. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you back with us. Hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow, but if not, next time out, mate, hopefully. Been a pleasure. Really, you should say goodbye in your fluent Spanish, shouldn't you?
Bueno, buenas tardes, Pedro. Espero que nos veamos pronto en otro stream. Hasta pronto.
Yeah. Proud parent standing on camera at the minute. As you know, I'm still trying to master English as a first language, so progressing pretty much intermediate really for 57 years of age. Probably need another 57 years of age to possibly move up a level. Oh dearie me. I'll tell you what though, I've discovered that Ken Alloway's no mug with the French either. There you go, I'm just saying. And we're not talking Del Boy French, we're talking Pucker French.
Next time we're out, is it Prestwick, his local airport?
I think you're at Prestwick, aren't you, Ken?
We'll have to get sort of a multilingual chat going.
Christopher Boyce confirms that Bombardier Global 6000 is pinging up for Luton. Yeah, it's been... Chris, thanks for the nudge on that, because I'd forgotten about it. We've had it on the watch radar. I think Alibi or Alexander or both had shouted it up. So keep us on that one, because they have a habit of sneaking out when you least expect them. Probably waiting for some VIP to come back from their corporate hospitality at St James's. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, if it's any good, you're not going to be in a rush for your plane if you know the plane's got to wait for you. I mean, you know, bit of champagne. Carl Shield, wondering is Michelle flying that Aer Lingus plane? Michelle, I'll let you respond to that one. There's a compliment in there, because it looked a pretty good landing to me. Claire Con, it's been a pleasure to be in your company, and hopefully we'll catch you again. Now, you know, maybe it's tomorrow, but either which way, another day. Thank you so much. Alexandra Wood says Finnair Embraer just overhead on the way to Manchester. Let's see if we can hear what we... Yeah, it's just the traffic noise I think I'm hearing the more of. Yeah, I can hear it. It can't be far above us. Oh, right, straight up. Can I hear it?
Yeah, got it.
Got the note. Yeah, we've got that, Alexandra. Can't see it, but the good news is, because we love Finnair, it's another one of those liveries that just love. So that is on the list of movements for tomorrow's show, actually. So going back to Les Donaldson's comment I saw in the chat, I knew I hadn't come back to that. Les was talking about the high probability of rain around 11. That is the one fly in the ointment, but it says shower rather than heavy. So I figure we're going to go for it, and at the end of the day, we'll see how it goes. If it's a shower, we'll be good.
And stellar stuff from Claire Con. Thank you for the subscription and for sharing as well, because obviously it means a lot to us to get the channel spread out and about, so people who wants to join in and do some plane spotting from Newcastle can enjoy what they see.
Couldn't have put it more eloquently. That's another reason why I bring Eddie along. It adds a layer of eloquence to the show that is often lacking. Oh man. Right, task in hand. And we know where this one's going. Well, I'll tell you what, those dark clouds we were fretting about, I'm going to say it, they're over there now. I know, I can't help it.
It's the thrill of the chase.
It's the thrill of the chase, absolutely.
The Air Alsie.
Oh, hang on a minute. This is the thing now. If I say, Christopher Boys, Eddie's not coming to Edinburgh tomorrow, does that mean I'm going to be broadcasting to 7 people? I don't know, what are you doing tomorrow, Eddie?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
A lot of moving parts.
I'm aware my wife might be watching at home, so be non-committal as to what I'm doing tomorrow.
Oh, hang on a minute. This is straight from the top of the news desk. Alexandra Wood confirms Air Alsie Express on finals. Some more turboprop extravaganza, folks.
Potentially #1 tracking plane on Flare Radar.
In the chat, folks, tell us, where has this got a number against it where it's being tracked in the world? I mean, usually it's often the military jets, isn't it? But yeah, perhaps it is being tracked.
All I'm saying is I'm tracking it on Flight Radar.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's have a think. Layla Bergman, you're nearest to Flight Radar's 24's headquarters out there in Stockholm. What's the verdict? Because this livery as well, it's probably going to be interesting to see how it picks up, because it's pretty
special
much
livery.
Yeah.
That'll be,
special livery emoji alert, members.
Yeah, true. Forgot. No, it's got a name. Well, it sounds a bit of a silly comment. It's got a name and everything, the livery, but Torunga till Sunderborg. That's my best attempt.
Which is going to be better than mine. Carl Shield confirms. I was thinking Michelle Johnson, because in my world Michelle Johnson is front and centre, but head pilot at Aer Lingus is a Michelle. Cool that. And Ewan confirms the ATR about to land is actually operated by Eastern Airways, which is interesting, because I thought Air Alsie Air was its own. Unless it's a bit.
I think someone referenced earlier in the chat that it's some kind of equipment sharing,
or wet lease or something.
Yeah.
Well, either which way, we're going to film it. We don't tend to get many ATR72-500 Sue here. It's generally the 600s with Aer Lingus.
I mean, it's interesting how the clouds are looking for the folks back home, because in person there's a lot of vivid colours, blues, greys, whites, lots of layers. There is rain coming. Oh, I'm going to be quiet because...
you're right, you won't interfere with anything yet.
Yeah, because I think it is raining on the other side of the field now. You can see, rain.
It is raining on the other side. Yeah. I think that's why we lost the... sometimes at that distance, if it's too hot, too hazy, or there's any precipitation, you tend to find it hard to get a clean focus. So this looks like the machine that will be bearing Southampton FC back home. I've done that flight myself before with Flybe, I think it was him or something. Oh, hang on, folks, it's all happening here. Do not go anywhere. Check that out. Quick snap here. I'll have to take a bank of bet, folks, in case I don't get another side on of it. Sorry, you'll have had a screen stutter there. See, people are bibbing the routers, are that excited. This plane was actually the tipping card as to whether we did the pop-up or not. To be fair, it's going to make, I would have thought it's going to make a right, isn't it? Or left, sorry, into the biz terminal.
It'd be interesting, because I think that the other aircraft will be blocking the, I think only one access.
It'd be interesting what they do, whether they get it to backtrack or... It almost looks military-esque, doesn't it? Special Forces livery. Gonna take another snap, folks, do bear with me. And one more for luck. I'll take one more as a charm when he turns. A bit like the Doctor, really, won't hurt much. And we'll choose our moment carefully. See, folks, that's pretty distinct, isn't it? Right, no more photos, so sorry about piddling around. So actually, I'm going to go back there. Sorry, I peeled off momentarily. So what's happening here? So he's not going to the BizJet terminal. Far side of the terminal. Although I do see in the near side 4 and 5 are vacant, aren't they? 3, 4, 5. Just a favour, Eddie, keep an eye on the citation. Yeah. It's a nice dilemma to have, where to pop the camera.
I'm just mesmerised by this aircraft.
Yeah, me too. He's really striking, isn't he?
Black fuselages, do you? Like,
no.
I think there's an Air New Zealand that I know of.
Oh, I do like that. Not that we get
777.
Yeah. I think I've seen that in a...
The LA streams, I think, usually carry that.
Yeah, I don't know, I've seen something similar with an internal flight on Sid's squad. I just can't remember whether it was a 320, 321. Getting old and forgetful.
Yeah, Ken's just saying it looks like Air New Zealand as well. So.
Well, there you go. I think we're on the money there, folks. But it's relatively unusual as a colour scheme, certainly in the UK.
You don't see it.
Ooh, what are they doing? Flushing the toilet or brake testing?
Yeah,
bit of a puddle.
Cooling those inters.
Cooling the inters, what, to make sure they get the trip?
Yeah.
Got to make the tyres last for the return journey.
I've got the citation on the move.
Well, this might be interesting. If they stop it somewhere handy, I'll pull to the citation in a second, folks. We might get some players stepping onto the plane type thing for any of our fans, viewers, supporters who like Southampton FC. That's quite an attractive plane as well. So that's just going to backtrack up, isn't it, from up the runway?
Yep.
So better keep an eye. Keep me straight on the chat, please, Eddie. You have been doing anyway, but I've just got this funny feeling something else is going to start moving in a minute. Hopefully that's at a fairly stately pace. Oh, Michelle thinks she's seen something similar on a Greenland feed. I think I might have that saved as a favourite. Is it Greenland? Like it's not like a narrated thing. I don't think it is. It's like a webcam type stream.
Where's that from? Sorry, I was
Greenland. Michelle was saying she'd seen something similar to the ATR colour-wise on that stream. I was wondering if I've seen the same stream she's talking about. I think I've got it saved as a It's one of the, whenever I look in on it, nothing's ever happening. Yep, I'm glad we turned out for that.
Yeah, it's something well, certainly unique in sense of what we usually see here.
Yeah, it's all about the variety, ultimately. You've seen Tina York's left us, so see you, Tina. To be honest, Carl, I hadn't seen anything that says Ireland was the home of leasing planes, but I wouldn't be surprised. I've got this hunch, to some extent, whatever the other benefits, it must be something to do with corporation tax rates. It's so intricate now, the way that planes are leased and subleased and where you pay your tax. So you do see a lot of planes with EI, don't you, on the prefix?
Well, yeah, that was something that we noticed when we were filming at Myrtle Avenue in the summer. I think we saw quite a lot of aircraft that, I think a lot of, was it the SAS planes, the Scandinavian Airlines had a lot of?
Some of them, yes. The CRJ900s, if I remember, have gone up nice and sharp there. We probably won't get all of this, folks, because it's going to more or less overfly me, rather than me being able to pan round on it. We'll stay with it as long as we can. Toying with me. Oh, sun's out as well. Sorry folks, we've manifested. Oh, I found it. On the way down I found it. Got dazzled by the sun. It's literally poked out from one tiny piece of cloud. It's all the nicer for it, isn't it? Okie dokie. Tell you what, let's have a look at what could be the plane of the day, depending on taste. Get those salty snacks ready for the exhausted footballers. So they're putting the rear stairwell up, just the rear, boarding from the rear it looks like.
Thanks as well to Philip Ross, who's given shed a bit more light on it. He says some leasing companies are based in Ireland, and that's why a lot of aircraft have the EI prefix on it, so.
See, that's the beauty of the chat, isn't it? You tend to find it's a bit like a thousand piece jigsaw. Lots of people have got different bits of the puzzle. It's what makes this fun, if I'm honest. It really does. I'm just going to take her out so you get the full shot rather than just zoom on the stairwell. We'll keep a watch out for the coach when it pulls up. It's always nice. Oh, hang on, just shout out. So yeah, I hadn't said hello to Philip, so you're relaying Philip's point. Hi Philip, I'm sorry I missed your entry into the chat. Oh, there's some plane of the day emojis spanked out.
Yep, very nice to see him.
Yep.
Do I agree? Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I'm excited to see the Lufthansa a bit later on, but something special about a special livery. That's probably why it uses the word special.
Well, there's a clue in the title, I suppose. Well, here's the thing, and it's one of those nice parts in the show. If you're undecided, because at the end of the day it's all about opinions, you get to see it go as well. Yeah. So you get a second look at it.
Well, yeah. I'm all about my noises today, so if it makes a lovely noise as it takes off, then it might swing me.
Okay, well that's all good. So Ken's right, variety is the spice of life. I mean, joking, we're not Manchester or Heathrow or Gatwick, but we do, if you get lucky with the times here, pick up on some interesting movements. Often military, a bit like Prestwick I think in that sense. Things turn up that you don't expect, but there they go. It's just the way it goes. But anyway, by the by. So, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm with you, Carl Shield. I'd love to see the Aer Lingus A320 here. I've noticed they are on the Edinburgh route now, which is good. Brilliant for that matter. But hey ho. So we'll look further now, check I've not missed anybody. No, I think we're pretty much up to snuff. I am liking the emoji central.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's all,
got you with the umbrella again.
it's all, yeah,
To
don't,
be fair, I think rain risk.
yeah. Eddie's called it, folks, so we are going to decide that there is no rain risk for the remainder of the show, or, just for the avoidance of doubt, we think the rain risk is probably over there and not over here. So let's just hope that I don't get to eat my words. Although I find if you are eating your words, it's generally better with tomato sauce. Anyway, let's just get back to plane of the day. Can you ever like aircraft strumming along somewhere, Brian? This is not coming, it's not going to come in on 7s, is it? Well, that's interesting, Alibi 58. Alibi's just commented in the chat, Dubjet had streaming problems earlier at Dublin. So veterans of plain sailing aviation will know we've had 2 goes at it and we had 2 very enjoyable days, absolutely no question, but some of the tech issues there were actually quite tricky.
Yeah, I think it's a shame because I mean, as a nice little away trip, and you know, as you're all aware, we're massive aviation fans, so a lot of really cool movements there, cool aircraft. I had a great time, just obviously the signal just didn't link up for us. So.
Even the weather played square with us, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we often joke about the weather on every stream we do. We say like a rain cloud follows me around, but we did okay.
Returned with a light sunburn, I'd say, on my face after that stream. So.
Alexandra reports VizJet to Oxford, estimated departure 17:10. That feels like not far from now, really. Next quarter of an hour. Right, thanks Alexandra. We are on standby for that. Hopefully we'll get to see the ATR go out. Well, like I say, the ATR's not due out till 6, so it's more a case of how soon do the players turn up, I guess, and whether they can get a new flight plan cobbled together.
I'm going to have to go off your screen, a bit lower battery.
Yeah, oh that's cool. So, I tell you what, just no, leave it like this because I won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
I need the big screen, folks. So Eddie's been working off his phone. You've got my phone, I've got full data.
Okay.
Sure?
Yeah.
There you go. I tend to like something bigger so I can watch it through my glasses in large print. Like a large print book, really. That is definitely raining over there. Can you just see the way the light's refracting? Right, let's have a quick canter around, folks, just to rotate the camera, check we're not missing anything. Ooh, look at that, some boarding action. Metro pumping away in the background. Tell you what, if you have my phone for flight radar, just so you can go, there's oodles of data on it, so it's not like... No, it's completely freestanding. The only thing it does do is it goes into dark mode on welcome. So we go. Sorry folks, we are just deploying our tech. And as anybody knows, as I'm fond of saying, when I'm deploying tech,
Is there a vehicle going around to the...
I don't know, I'll track to it. Eddie the spotter's busy spotting. Yeah, it's those snacks I was talking about. I doubt they'll be cracking open the tins of beer, not after losing. You never know though, perhaps somebody will get some mug punter further up the plane to ask the manager if it's time to open the beers. Oh, Air France is transponding. They were due out at 5 o'clock, so prospects look good there. The Embraer 190 standard return flight to Paris Charles de Gaulle. I've just seen it turn, so here we go folks. I think that might be our next thing, so just to prove I'm not fabricating. There you go. Could you almost use it as a quiz question? Whose tail fin is that? And finals. Oh dear, what have we got happening on finals? What do we have? The Embraer 190. Sure, I saw that called in the chat. just crossing the coast at Seaton Sluice. Carl Shield, we are on 4G, mate. We had a dog. Thanks, Alexandra Wood. Lufty on finals. We're standing by. Embraer 190 long range. Got visual on that. And yep, the Air France 190 standard. Charles de Gaulle. It's all good. That was okay. It's only locked at half an hour. Is it locking sooner? Yeah, it's alright. We'll toggle. Ali's all over the flight radar, so Alexandra, so that's all good. Right, let's get ready for the incoming Lufty. Be an absolute travesty. I think it might be. I only took a snatched glimpse at the pic, but I think we're talking the traditional livery. That's the better example, isn't it? Rather than the modernistic one. Which still looks nice, but has that kind of renter look to it, doesn't it? It looks nice on the eye, but oh, hang on, some scooting going on here. So before we go to the Lufty, let's keep it European and have a bit of Air France hopping along. So we'll stay with that in the short term. So as always, folks, if you like what you see, please do feel free to make with the like button, and if you've not yet subscribed and you're enjoying the broadcast, support would be fantastic. Couldn't ask for more than that. The good news is neither cost you a sausage. You do have membership option, which you can click on the little dollar button behind the at the bottom of the chat or on our YouTube page. But supporting us this afternoon with your time is the first and foremost thing for us. But the way YouTube works, likes and subscriptions definitely boost the way we get promoted. So that would be great if you could give that some consideration. Yeah, this is my... I enjoy the Air France livery, Michelle. I'm not, as regulars on the show would know, I'm not persuaded by the hop livery, the contemporary type, arty looking one. There's something pretty sleek about that, and I quite like the Air France livery on the 777 as well.
I think all 777s look good, to be honest with you. I haven't seen a 777 that doesn't look good yet.
Well, this is true. I suppose it's all relative, isn't it? Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, we're looking good. Oop, except me going off kilter there. Right, here we go. I mean, Frankfurt's another fantastic destination. People will have heard me wax lyrical on the show before. We had quite a good time pre-pandemic there, didn't we?
Yeah.
We've not live broadcast from there, although we've seen some nice streams from there, so it's somewhere we entertain. But just as a plane spotting, city break, go for the weekend, go up the tower. Crikey, folks, I was reminiscing there and over zooming. I literally was visualising the view from the tower. Anyone who's been up the whatever, I can't remember the name of the tower in Frankfurt. If Ryan is still on the chart, he'll put us straight. But the view is just like, well, man, it kind of made my knees knock, if I'm dead honest.
Yeah, it was one of those ones that it was impressive to climb and to see, but made me feel quite weird. When you look up and you look down, it feels it's very high up, let's put it that way. Yeah,
it's funny, yeah, if you look up, look out, look down, your knees, a bit like the Empire State Building, folks. If you've anyone been up the Empire State and you come off onto the balcony, this is going back some years, look back upwards, the radio mask, off the King Kong movies and all the rest of it, and for some reason when I kind of realised it was even higher still, I'm telling you now, my legs went to jelly virtually, just for that nanosecond. It's like, being disorientated. Yeah, traditional. And of course, I don't think there's many liveries that don't suit an Embraer. Nice sleek lines.
Yeah, I mean the Embraers, I don't remember seeing a lot. I don't recollect seeing a lot of them pre-pandemic. They obviously were out there, but they seem to be gaining popularity. I think I saw quite a few on the. I was watching one of the LA streams the other day as well, and there seemed to be a few out there.
It's a question of economics. I mean, we were talking on actually the stream in the week. Simon Kirby was talking about, you know, the Profit Hunter E2 iteration. That they've got a couple apparently in that special livery. Oops. Visualising that E2 Profit Hunter livery has nearly caused me to miss his outgoing flight to Paris. Yeah, take my hat off. Starting to get a little bit warmer. I've got too many layers on.
I'm just a bit concerned about sunstroke.
Yeah. Eddie folks is concerned about sunstroke. Dear me. I put loads of layers on because I thought we're going to get absolutely rained on, and somewhere along the line I'm going to feel cold, but now I'm kind of slowly cooking. Going up nice and straight. Anyway, back to the main event. Looks like we've got a Jet 2 pushback. Right, catching up with that chat. Let's have a look. Alexandra's called in the chat. Ryanair from Gran Canaria, just turning on to finals. Alexandra, you are bang on the money. We've got it line of sight. Do you know, I've just realised we're in the last hour of the show.
Well,
how is that even possible?
It's gone quickly. I was getting a bit greedy looking at that Dreamliner coming in at 7:45, but I don't think people at home will be happy. Well, the people watching will be happy, but
no, don't worry, we're not quite going down that route. Anyway, Wayne Hartshaw, see you my friend next time out. Sorry if I've missed people.
Oh, yeah, I think I missed a question from Michelle as well about the Facebook group. So that's currently live. So it is live, and it's named Plain Sailing Aviation Executive Lounge. We'll find a way to promote it. I think we'll just get a link and put it in a community post once we are completely happy with it. But if you find it beforehand, feel free to.
Well, we've got a post we're going to put out covering the away day action for May.
Yeah. And
what we'll do. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm toggling and visualising what we're doing next. It's a bad habit. I'm just going to rest it here for the minute. It's still a fair way out, and we'll put an update on the Facebook page in then. So we'll just, because it's something, I hate the term, but it's an iterative learning process for us. Neither Eddie or myself are actually spot on with Facebook, but you know, and not everybody is bothered with Facebook. It's a bit like Twitter, but we figured it's quite a good way to allow the executive lounge to be able to share stuff and share knowledge, and us with them as well. What we're thinking, what we might try, and we always like your opinions, there's no question about that. We are a viewer-led channel, was all said and done, and at the top of that pyramid is our members, so we definitely want to make use of that. I am going to get this focused. Focus mark, there we go, just toying with us. It's like bursting through the bubble. I have to keep an eye, Eddie, in case that bus suddenly swoops out as well. You're multitasking on a level that I could never match. I'm going to say you're going to have to come next time as well.
I remind myself at several points this afternoon of, you know, like a Ferrari pit stop person when they've got the cars and on the grid and umbrellas and all those.
Hang on, don't keep the backside out of it.
Well, that's how I like to imagine it.
Oh dear, well listen, I quite like that imagery as well. Although I'd probably be Hans Molman on the pit stop crew. Come on, bunga dudes! Anyway, here we go. Oh, have I missed Nell's entry into the chat? Oh my lord, Nell, you must think me so rude. How are you? Good afternoon, and sorry, I've had my eyes trained on a few bits and pieces. Anyway, hope all is good with you. What is in the oven this afternoon? I think someone's asked that very question. Are we having some more Danish, or they'll have Danish pastries in on the last show. We'd started talking about pizzas and what would be a good topping and combination, and what would possibly be much less good, if I can say it like that.
Nice to see you as well, Noel.
Oh dearie me, that's just got me laughing to myself now. Concentrate, Mark, concentrate.
3 likes away from that 150. Ken's updating us. 147.
Excellent. Well listen, there's 3 people out there who could take their place in the proverbial history. We've been that carried away, we missed the 100. Sorry, it would have been called in the chat, I know it, but I'm so glad we did a pop-up this afternoon.
The thrill of the chase, that's the catchphrase today.
Right, where's this Jet 2 going? Let's just consult my team of experts. Brian Pounder, good afternoon to you, Brian. Hope all is good. We're delighted to report a bit of sunshine here at Newcastle International Airport.
Yeah, hi, I'm Michelle. So yeah, the group exists. It's just we're just fine-tuning some of the settings at the moment, and we hope to get that just to confirm again out in a
next day or so.
Next day or so, community post. It's just about trying to work out how to logistically get that group to the members. That's the bit we're struggling with at the moment. So
we're pushing the parameters of our knowledge, but we will bring you the promised experience, guaranteed. Planes and Trains TV. It's interesting actually. I'm quite excited about doing the return flight down to Bristol, doing a pop-up live stream there at some point, probably in the summer, if I can get good prices with EasyJet and decent times relative to the movements that we'll see there. Because I just think it's a great location, and it's all about what we try and do, whereas we like to do regular slots from Newcastle and Edinburgh in particular. We're quite keen on other places, Glasgow more recently.
I've looked at Bristol because I think a lot of the EasyJet, well, a lot of models by airlines these days is if they don't do a direct flight from your airport, you can fly via, and I think Bristol's one of those from Newcastle, but the flight's never...
Melody R, it's been a pleasure to be in your company. Do have yourself a good, where are we now? You're going to be, be evening or night. Good night's sleep possibly.
Oh, in Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Oh, so that'll be
there we west.
lunch, right?
Oh yeah, so they're in front of us, it's the other way around.
Oh,
yeah, you are right.
Lunchtime.
So enjoy the rest of your day. Oh dearie me, so what do we get to? 147 likes or what? Nell says the pastries did not live long. I bet they didn't live long.
No.
It proper enhanced my appetite. I have a vivid imagination for such things, and I just think the smell of freshly cooked pastry. Yeah. Oh man. Where did we actually say this plane's going?
The Jet 2.
Alicante. So I've caught it up. Nell's called it on that one, and I'm just looking. Alexandra has confirmed EasyJet from Bristol 18 minutes out, so we'll keep our beady eyes on both. Thanks, Nell. 7:37 to Alicante. Probably guaranteed sunshine, you'd like to think there. Haven't they got a heat wave at the minute?
Yeah, I was actually seeing in Seville, obviously miles away from Alicante, but they're almost touching 40 degrees already, so very, very hot. Got droughts in Barcelona, I think, as well, I saw.
You see, in all seriousness, it's not a great look in April, is it?
No.
Because I don't think in this country, I think it feels to me like spring is a bit behind where it normally would be. I think the temperatures, certainly in our part of the world, have not been crash up. Let's just concentrate on the outgoer. The Alicante Express. Oh, so Nell say I've seen another pastries, cake, something else. I'm trying to stay on the plane now, but all I'm thinking about is food. Although, as I say, we're not going to be doing pineapples again today, or bananas. Not approved pizza toppings and plain sailing aviation. Or endorsed is a better word. How was that for you at home, folks? trackside, it felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
Better keep an eye out for that EasyJet, haven't we, as well?
I think Jet 2 is winning the noise of the afternoon, because it is the Jet 2 ones I'm enjoying. I'm seeing a few 7.3s.
You reckon they got the wick turned up a little bit higher?
Putting on a show for us, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, Ken's hit the. I'm not. He's enticing me to burst into song. Pump up the volume. I'm not going to do it, Ken. Too dry, even with water. I think I need a couple of lagers before I launch into that one. Political bias. You're right, man. Cake, cake, cake. There's a lot of happiness wrapped up in cake.
Ken, please don't entice Mark into song. Not when I'm out with him.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Ken knows it's not nice. They kind of draw me in and then slaughter me.
We've got a question in Spanish from Shedderhead. ¿Dónde está Alicante? Well, for those that don't or not as fluent in Spanish, so it'd be east coast of Spain, just south of Valencia. Usually, to be fair, a lot of people that go via Alicante are staying in Benidorm or similar resorts nearby. Hope that answers your question.
Spot on. You see, I'm impressed. We've got all sorts going on here. Good stuff. Deborah Speller, you're right. Great roar. Dopey up. Very loud. Loving that. I mean, the only thing I would say is because we're not able to monitor sound until we get our hardware changed, hopefully next week. Don't want to lose any shows for the exchange part of the process. But it's a bit of a gamble with sound, so we do a sound check at the start to make sure you can hear the commentary. But in terms of the way the planes come over, you don't really know where you are until you've had a few, and by then you're in the groove. Ken Alloway, you are officially incorrigible. Mark the pub singer. Well, I have to say you're right. Oh my oh my ears.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Whatever happened to singing for no good reason? Badly. I keep saying I'm doing the right notes. It's the Morecambe and Wise thing, but not necessarily in the right order. Newcastle's Got Talent. I'll be there for the auditions, belting them out. Let's get back to the show. We are into the last 45 minutes. Although, if there is any action that we want to show you or you want to see, we'll stay a bit longer. We're not going to cut it off shortly, prematurely. Equally, if we run through the action sooner, we'll let you get on to the next phase of your afternoon. We're here to entertain you after all, so whilst we can do that, we are cock-a-hoop.
Just want to know where the Air Alsie outbound is on flight tracker. Is it number one yet? Or I don't know.
I don't think it's pinging, Eddie. It's not.
Does it have to be airborne before you can track the flight?
No, as long as the transponder's showing.
Okay.
You see, that would take us, and Tony McCall actually explained this really well. I'll not try and summarise it now, but if we cut to it's a thing we know well from the chat that Logan Air, often we don't see them transponding until they get up to, what, 3,000 feet or something?
True.
And it's all to do with their transponders not working with the...
So then that would be very interesting, because although it's operated by Logan, no, it's not Logan Air, is it? No, but it's operated by Eastern. I thought it was Eastern Airlines.
I think that is a Logan Air. I don't know. I defer.
That's a Logan Air.
I'm talking about the Logan Air.
Okay.
This is exclusively Logan Air conversation.
Oh yeah.
So this is about Logan Air. Often other shows we often don't know what they're doing or where they're going, because if they don't show up, and I've forgotten the abbreviation, AB something or other. Long story short, it's a pop-up, so I'm not prepared as well as I should. But the alternative to use is something called multilateration, which uses 4 points of reference. But if you haven't got those 4 points, flight radar doesn't have that alternative means to pick them up. So it's Tony put straight on that one. It's been driving me potty. Right, our EasyJet looks like it's just over Durham. So I know Wayne's left the show, but somewhere near Wayne's part of the world, if I remember correctly. Alibi behave. Listen, there's a sequence of events, Alibi, that would involve drinking a lot of alcohol. Then I couldn't rule out dancing around the maypole, but I won't be wafting any hankies around or anything more vigorous. That's for more cultured people.
Maybe on a future away day, We could get you to do some kind of interpretive dance.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any
but
demand.
what does the chat think? That's
I,
what we need to do.
I don't think the chat, what they want is the Southampton team bus folks. See, Eddie's busy laughing at me, but there's Southampton FC. So here's the thing. The bloke takes them to the airport and then has to drive all the way from here down to Southampton. It's not an enviable effort, is it? A good effort on the driver's part. Yeah. Perhaps if you played badly, some of you have to go back on the bus. I do think that would be a good thing.
It does feel a bit, you know, I'm a big football fan, big aviation fan. It does feel a bit rough sending a driver up in a bus and then you fly back. I know that's just the logistics of it, but it just feels...
Yeah, but you know, if you've had a stinker on the pitch or the manager's just unhappy, what happens to just, we're going with the plane and you lot are on the bus?
Nothing. You just say to them, make your own way home and
Yeah.
see what happens.
Check Nell out. Mark dancing would be nice to fill in some of the longer gaps.
I agree.
Nell,
I agree with that.
I should agree. Yeah. Nell, I'm looking for stauncher support. Alibi and Ken are incorrigible. I hadn't actually considered you could be as equally incorrigible as they. Dearie me. Alexandra says, Air Alsie, not yet pinging. It'll be interesting how soon that pings up once the bus gets airside.
For the Newcastle.
No, that'll be planes and trains. That's Southampton FC, mate. So they've just apparently been beaten by Newcastle.
3-1 in the end.
Alibi's picking songs out to torture me with now. Sing the floral dance. Now here's the thing. I only have the gist of that one, but I do have that associated with Terry Wogan. Now you're wondering what we're on about here.
No, it's a blank face from Eddie's side on that one. But if it involves interpretive dance, I'm all for it.
See what I mean? There's no. I'm being pasted by the moderators, pasted by the editor, who's also my son. Oh dear. Dopey Gorp, thank you for so far sparing me. Oh, hang on. Can you hear something strumming away?
Yeah, from the general aviation.
Did that Beechcraft go out?
No,
Super King?
we're still waiting. We've got a Ryanair pushing back.
We'll take the Ryanair pushback, folks. Keep the action going, keeping an eye on the horizon for the incoming Bristol flight.
It looks like there's a bit of heat coming off my plane of the day. How much I keep going on about it. That British Airways potentially A321, although I'm looking at it.
You've bet your reputation on that being a 321.
It's a tough angle to call.
Of course it's a tough angle to call, but you put your reputation on it.
Could I be spotter of the day if I get that right from this angle?
There we go, folks. We're looking to test some new emoji concepts. Spotter of the day could be one for us.
It's either me or Mark.
Well, listen, Michelle. Pagan fertility dances or otherwise, I'm just going to keep it nice and conservative today. Doris says the Greeks always have reason to find a day off, so you can have as many bank holidays and coronations. I'm with you. Life's too short to be at work all the time. You have to do what you got to do, but I don't think we have enough holidays. Well, I do now. I'm retired.
Tell you what, that's some pushback going on there with the Ryanair.
It's like watching a Malcolm Marshall run up back in the 70s and 80s. Those of you who do cricket. You know, Michael Holding or somebody.
Push all the way back.
All the way to the start point. Yeah, I'd like to know if you're right on that. I do think, for what it's worth, I think you are right. I think Aer Lingus are pushing back, aren't they? I can just see the top of the tail fin.
That might be the heat haze I've seen then, because it is parked round.
Ken's come in with the floral dance. A bit more information. The Brighausen Rastrick Brass Band. Or Terry Wogan. Yeah, did it hit #1? I've got the idea, back in the days when #1s were real big news, people used to follow that kind of stuff. Oop, hang on, Ryanair. I'm not following the Ryanair, am I, folks? It's still on its way back in reverse.
And this bus, because I don't think the team bus will go on the tarmac, there is a...
That's empty largely.
That's empty, is it going?
Yeah. I think they will bring the bus through.
I think the security checks...
Oh, hang on, no, you won't be sterile, won't it? They'll decamp them, put them on.
I think they'd be on a...
Yeah, you are right. Otherwise you're bringing...
I don't know, to be fair. I mean, already been amazed by the novelty of having the special livery with us, but I've yet to see. We've seen a couple of football teams leave Newcastle,
Ooh.
but yet to see it parked
Aviation
on that
Adam
side.
says his friend is cabin manager on the Ryanair pushing.
Ah.
Who's your friend, my friend? We'll shout their name out. Thanks, Alexandra. That Beach Air King 260 now
There it
pinging.
goes, there it goes.
Oh, you're right. You've put us straight on the money.
Rush
Everything's
hour.
happening. It's rush hour now. I'm going to go with the Aer Lingus momentarily, just so we register it. Keep watching the Super King. Super King is definitely going first. He's going to turn and burn, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna tap
Turn and burn. Look at
Top
that.
Gun references now, everything.
Look at this.
Can we get Mark to sing Highway to the Danger Zone?
Not really. Here's the thing. We've encountered Sunday rush hour.
Yeah.
We will have to do another Sunday evening stream. Although
I enjoy it. Personally.
I think we're definitely going to look and do that, folks. This seems to be a good slot to do. And if folks like what we're showing, how are we doing on lights? Oh, EasyJet's on finals, Alexandra says. We're going to have to keep pressing all the buttons here.
This might be too much to handle. There's stuff coming on finals, there's stuff taxiing on runways,
Planes of interest, football teams.
massive pushbacks.
Oh, lordy do. And it's actually turned into quite a nice spring evening. That EasyJet now is...
It actually
in
looks
line.
like the ATR, Aer Lingus, might want to take off in the opposite direction.
Yeah, we think, let's just have a look though. The windsock, I think it is... Is it moved a little bit round? Is that more of a
Yes.
southerly
I
now?
think we're going to start switch the operation.
Yeah, we think we're going to reverse op, folks, so you're getting some bonus footage. We think the Super King and the EasyJet will be the last 07 action of the stream, and we'll have a bit of reverse ops on runway 07.
Well, that explains the monster pushback then, to let
Yeah.
the ATR through.
Well,
And that,
folks,
even better, more exciting, the special livery Southampton aircraft will come nice up and good.
you haven't mentioned there's a special livery Southampton aircraft.
Well, it's not in Southampton.
No,
If anyone at home is thinking, oh wow, what is that?
no, you mean conveying the Southampton football team.
Yes.
Right, this is going to have to get a wriggle on. If you let me just switch round. We won't stay with this all the way. We'll take it for the main bit and then cut to the EasyJet, and then we'll have the reverse op stuff. So no time for a cup of tea, folks, really. Although I don't want anyone getting dehydrated on this show. Have one of those beers that I was talking about that would probably get me dancing. Ooh, smart. Oop. Played havoc with the focus though. Farewell, Super King. Right. Hello, EasyJet.
Although that said, the Ryanair looks like it's taxing down the far end.
Oh, we think we may have got excited for no good reason.
But the ATR is holding short.
That ATR is definitely going to go up this way. As you say, unless it's going to backtrack. It might backtrack.
Or it could be, I mean, again,
It's only a single runway here, folks, and we're kind of getting all kinds of possibilities.
I mean, I
I'm
suppose,
intrigued.
I'm not sure how it works, if they've already sort of asked for permission to push and maybe given a taxi route already, do they have to stick with it? Or maybe that's why the Ryanair's heading down there and the ATR.
That's a pretty good shout.
Again, you know, enthusiast level.
I tell you what, it's a good shout as well. Ryan has
The
just
buses there as well.
Ryan has just posted me 4 beers in the chat, so I'm thinking that'll be a good shout as well. Oh dear. So we'll have a quick look, see once we've landed this plane what's happening with the Southampton football team. I don't think we're going to get a clean shot, are we? Bus to
No. To be fair, I mean, we're aviation first and foremost. If it can
yeah. Well, we've not got a gap in play, have we? Let's have the traffic. Just let's chat for me, mate. Thanks. Yeah. 320 Neo. Thanks, Ken. I've seen something the other day just talking about Neos. British Airways are starting to take their delivery of their Neos. They've got a lot of aging 320s, haven't they, COs? I think there might be 20 Neos in now in terms of their refreshment order. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
So
I can't be dreaming this stuff.
ATR is going to be taking the runway.
I still think it's going to backtrack. But I hope. Right, let's just see, because you never know, do you? Thanks, Eddie. We'll know in a second. Backtracking.
Yep. Interesting, because the wind direction would. We're looking at the SOC. I know there's been some chat in the chat regarding what flight radar is showing, but the actual SOC, well, it's shifting around, and I suppose it's not a strong wind, so they probably.
Yeah, I'm just going to cut to the SOC actually. So there's our EasyJet. Here's the SOC, and somewhere out there, a bit hazy. Somewhere around there is Southampton FC. Looks like all the vehicles are going around the back of the plane, so we're not worried about that. See, if it were Leicester City, I'd just become the Leicester City channel. Probably have about 2 viewers. So
coming to Newcastle. I think it's Newcastle's last home game actually.
Ah, well, there we go, folks. We'll find some spurious reason to do a live stream. Although thinking about it, actually, the sound of Mark sobbing on air possibly might not be.
A bad day for us,
I don't think that would be good. Now, if that's a giant lawnmower, I don't want to meet who's pushing it. Oop, I've been tricked. You see, he's just cutting through the taxiway now. Look.
Interesting. All ends up. I mean, seeing quite a lot of. I don't want to say unusual. Unusual makes it sound more dramatic than it is, but we've seen obviously the Air Alsie, and we've seen a couple of not the frequent movements on the ground.
Do you know what? I think we've done. I mean, bearing in mind we're not a big airport, I think Newcastle probably ranks around 12th or 13th nationally by volume, give or take. Sure, it's something in that kind of ballpark. This is 2001 figures I'm quoting, so 2022 I don't think I've seen the consolidated set, but you know, it's a good little airport, no question, but
Definitely.
if you catch the action right, it's better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a procession of the same old stuff, and everything's got its own niche. I mean, you know, let's go to the Dublin Ryanair flight now. I think I'm overloading on ATR action.
And thank you very much, Rena.
Oh, Rainer, so generous of you, my friend. You just took me off beam. That's very kind of you, buddy. Thank you so much. Keep me posted who the lucky recipient is. If you benefit.
Hammy Inc.
Hammy Inc. Well, you know the score, Hammy Inc. And welcome to the chat, mate. I'd not seen your entry, so yeah, can't wipe that. Ryan has dealt you a lucky card. I'm sure you'll appreciate, share your appreciation. That's very kind. Oh, staying with the planes. I'm just going to try and move myself around on. I was saying earlier on in the stream, it rather looks like about, well, I'm going to say several jars now of Nutella have been spread all over the floor. It's a proper mud bath. All good. Right, ATR time. Prepare for action. Give me a chance to join the chat. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Rainer got me 6s and 7s. I always do a good job at getting 6s and 7s, but
nice to see you back, Simon Kirby. You missed a chance to have a little, well, try and entice Mark to sing and dance. We came close, a few minutes ago. Well, I don't know, sure if it's minutes or hours. Minutes.
Ah, dear me. Ooh, Alexandra confirms KLM to Amsterdam now, pinging. Ken confirms the... Oh, that was off to Riga, not Dublin. I called that wrong earlier on.
Because you're thinking of the ATR.
No, I was thinking, well, surge of excitement. Very excitable.
Louder, A320.
Let's have a look. We've got a very small couple of blue bits of sky.
Clouds breaking a little bit.
Planes on the roll. Yeah, we are seeing a bit more blue, folks, which might augur well if we get a bit of that tomorrow. Sometimes see louder at Edinburgh, don't we? In fact, we see them here sometimes as well. Anyway, let's enjoy the sound. I think last time we were down here, Thursday, we missed it, but they had the inaugural Aer Lingus Belfast route. The movements didn't stack up really to extend to catch it.
So I think that the ATR engine makes the kind of noise that I'd like to hear when I'm sleeping at night, you know, sort of tucked in beds.
Yeah.
It's a bit cold outside.
I was saying on a stream from ages ago, when I was a small boy cutting my... Well, see my nan and granddad, who used to live, I've said on previous chats, down near Heathrow Airport. We tucked up in bed at night and you'd hear the old Vickers Viscounts and Vanguards coming in, sort of that drone low over the rooftops.
Reassuring.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Just look at the Shredderhead's comment. £1 to use the toilet. Do you have to pay as you go for the loo on Louder Air, or is that a different conversation? Oh dear, I need a lot of pairs of glasses, Ken Alloway. Probably need a bit of string on them as well, so they're always attached to me. Oh, KLM's moving. Now, no mystery where this baby's going. I think we're about due to see their Star Alliance livery. It does come through here periodically.
The blue of the aircraft, they must have that colour trademark, because there's nothing like it. I haven't seen that colour on anything.
There really isn't, is there? A bit like kind of Cadbury's purple or something. You know, there's certain iconic type colours. Well, I'm just enjoying basking on this. It's gorgeous always. So where are we now? Last 25 minutes of the show or thereabouts? I think the finale will be the Air Alsie ATR72-500, currently boarding out with Southampton players and backroom staff. That was slated to go at 6. There is something that's due in just after 6, so if it's on finals or thereabouts, we'll stay on for that. Kind of be rude not to. Yeah, Alibi's right. There's no slouches in those KLM cockpits.
It looks more standard today, whether they picked up on our live stream.
I don't think they're bothered one bit. I honestly think, having flown through Schiphol, I appreciate now, because of the distances, I think they're just trained to not hang about. Although I'm sure that the tower remind them that 15 mile an hour here is the speed.
Maybe it's just the effect of that trademark colour blue. It just looks faster.
Go faster, a bit like a go faster stripe. It's an interesting theory, Eddie. Well, sometimes they do trundle down the back a little bit. I suppose it depends where you know. If you know where your slot is, you're not necessarily in a rush, are you? But made good time.
Good morning, Chris. Sorry if I don't pronounce surname correctly.
Oh, I know this one. Layock, Chris Layock.
Chris Layock from Texas.
Yeah, Chris, we met, didn't we, on the Edinburgh stream? I think we have definitely spoke because you were coaching me. I think it was Layock, the pronunciation. If I've somehow forgot, I don't think I have, but don't feel you can't correct me in the chat. I'm up for grabs in that sense. Yeah, good morning from Texas, Austin, if I'm right. Is that Austin, Texas? I think we said it was. Or did I just fixate on Austin because of my F1 interests?
Only the other night I was at home saying I think Texas would be high. I mean, America, United States got lots of cool places to visit, but I think Texas, I've never been to the United States, and I think Texas is certainly high on my list of places. If I can get a Formula 1 Grand Prix there, even better.
I'm just looking at Shredderhead's comment in the chat, just put a big smile on my face. Can you imagine?
Prepare for blast off. Yeah.
You see, I'd be quite excited by that, but Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation will be blaming me for booking with that airline.
Yeah.
Let's see what the sound goes like. Right, where to train the camera? We'll have another dart at Air Alsie. We might not ever see it again, not here. Well, they must be going somewhere. I'm going to have a look later at the flight history for this. I'm going to ask a favour from my fantastic mod team. In fact, really, mod team plus local knowledge actually, so it's more of an alibi and Les Donaldson one, I suppose. What's the forecast for EDI looking like for tomorrow? I think last we spoke it was still heavy shower or shower around 11 o'clock, but otherwise okay. Just give us a heads up in the chat because I'm just going to confirm the stream pretty much when we close down, I think.
Alright, Planes and Trains TV's put me right. It's a British Airways A320 parked on stand. So I will not be winning spotter of the day.
Chris Layock, here's the thing about iced tea, mate, and no disrespect to folks who like iced tea, but I could never get on with it when we visited the States. I mean, I like tea, but just I think it's always best hot. Probably my lack of adaptation. Right.
Another bus heading out to the Air Alsie.
Ooh, just looking in the chat, so Planes and Trains TV. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the BA is a 320.
Yeah.
Oh right, sorry, I was in a different conversation in my head. Sorry, folks. I'm old. I was scanning the horizon, in all joking. I was thinking, oh, I just feel like it's going to be one of those final segments of the show where if you take your eye off something else is going to turn up.
Oh, Ken's given me a telescope, I believe, for a missighting of an A321. I
think that is fair, to be honest.
I like to not sit on the fence, and I took a risk. It's backfired.
Well, listen, you can go home and you can tell Mrs. Eddie that you've been awarded a telescope.
What would Jamie Redknapp say on fine margins?
It is fine margins,
yeah.
But fine margins, but you come up short.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
18 degrees and sunny, says Nell, where she is.
Oh, well, I'm delighted for you, Nell. Is that going to hold for you tomorrow and into the week? Because I'm wondering if we'll have some of what you have when the... I think we're still largely on an easterly system, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah, can't beat a bit of spring sunshine. Right, let's just see what is transponding on the deck. Somebody's beetling up the coast, I just saw that. So I did make a little list to myself of roughly what the movements numbers would look like. This is a quick aid memoir to when we get to close the show. Leave me to my own devices. If there's planes to film, I'll be here till the daylight runs out. Really.
Be nice that Boeing 787 from Manchester decided to go early for no apparent reason. Nice little end to the show.
Yeah, we categorise that as bonus footage.
If any TUI,
Exactly.
with any influence at TUI could make that happen.
In their operations team.
Yeah,
would you mind bringing it forward? Yeah. Well, Logan Air's due out. We've been a bit quiet on the old Logan Air front, haven't we? And I'm just looking here. What have we got? It says AT46, but that's a CRJ145 we're looking at. So there's no ATR72s on the deck that I'm aware of. Oh, I mean, right, here you go, folks. This is why I need escorting on these kind of trips. I'm looking at arrivals, not departures. Thanks, Eddie. So we have a Logan Air ATR42 on inbound, which is a bonus for us. We tend to get the RJ 145s that you're currently looking at in shot. Looks like I can see the footballers on the move, unless I'm much mistaken. Although I don't think we're going to see much.
Could be some fans of the channel.
What, on those buses? Watching now on their phones, perhaps?
Yeah.
You just wouldn't bet against it, would you? Anyway, it was departures I was just going to quickly key into, so have one of those moments. A little bit sticky. Krakow goes at 10 to 6, Lufthansa 10 to 6, Air Alsie 6 o'clock. And let's just check the earlier flights in case there's anything running a bit late. Where are those buses gone?
Didn't see many people jump on that Lufthansa, but the doors closed.
Carting fresh air. So, and we've seen the KLM go. So yeah, departure wise, it looks like Ryanair to Krakow, Lufthansa to Frankfurt, Air Alsie to Southampton. So that'll wrap up the show from that point of view. Cool. Somebody's transponding in the foreground. I'm going to guess it is our Lufty. Yeah, Lufty is transponding. So the plane you are looking at is going to be moving, folks. Right, let's get back to the chat. Sorry, folks, we've just been punched over the flight radar here like it was a coal fire. Although it's not cold. Just catching some of the back end of the conversation. I think I've seen that was a conversation about Jim Clark. I mean, there's no question. I know it's easy to argue these things in retrospect, but his premature death, I mean, he would have gone on to achieve so much more. I mean, I don't remember him when he was on the track, so everything I know about Jim Clark is by watching TV and documentary, but yeah, fantastic. Such a dangerous time to be in motorsport, really. Jamie's World, hi to you, my friend. I think we've met before in the chat. Hi in Glasgow. So just looking, we've probably had a turnover in people as well. So I'm Mark, host for Plain Sailing Aviation, joined by my son Eddie.
Hiya.
On air now for probably about the last 15 minutes of the show. So there's still plenty of action to show, so stay with us. So Nell's just talking about the weather in Brussels, in Belgium. So not sure about Tuesday, but tomorrow should be nice, fingers crossed. Lots of people planning a bit of a barbecue. Can't fault them. I can imagine the run on here at B&Q's if suddenly they said it was going to be barbecue weather.
It's good intel from Ian Finley in there. Hi Ian.
Hi Ian.
The Air Alsie ATR appears to do Copenhagen to Sonderburg. I guess that wasn't that one of the names of the special livery as well, so that I wonder if it's based there. The Jetways Planes Trains TV, often occupied by the Emirates 777 and also the TUI 787 when it's in. I'm not sure if any others use it, but when I've been here spotting, they seem to be the primary users.
I'm just looking at the conversation between Ken Alloway and Nell about, I'm not sure how close we are to 200 likes, but it's going to be more than one or two, I suspect. Grateful if someone could just give me the shout what the number is just for intro. Oh, hang on, Nell's called it 174. So I'm catching it up, folks. Slow on the uptake, me. So
the Southampton squad would like to
well, listen, I'm going the other way with this. So Nell's husband, who is well known on the show as Hubby 201, he's done this a couple of times now. It's uncanny. Nell says that, Ken says Nell needs a few more hubbies for us to get to 200.
Yeah.
I think that would be a level of dedication that would be above and beyond. But yeah, keep Hubby 201 in, keep Peter in your line of sight, Nell. We might need him for 200. I don't know. I think we can do 200 from here. You're a great audience, but whatever the number finishes at, it'll be fine. Here for the planes first and foremost, but you do help us with YouTube. Remember, as you know, people who do other streams, YouTube and its algorithm, it's all about likes and subscription numbers. Haha, yeah, Simon Kirby, are you in the lounge having biscuits at the minute? Your mate Frank Furtz reappeared. Oh, he's driving off. Now he's been made, he's on his way. Yeah, I'm with you, Michelle. I so want to go Edinburgh. I mean, you know, it's worked out for the best, folks, if I'm honest. I hope people in the chat agree. We still get Edinburgh, so hopefully most of you can still make that. But in, you know, weighing it up in the bigger picture, we've got a bonus stream here today. Saw a few extra things that we wouldn't have seen. The weather has actually treated us pretty kindly. If we can have a bit of that tomorrow, I'll be happy. But Edinburgh's actually busier tomorrow than it would have been today.
I suppose, I don't think bank holidays affect flight scheduling, do they? So Monday's a Monday.
Well, the only problem we might have when I get home is the one that says the schedule will show the schedule, but then it's where the cancellations then kick in. But people still need to go from A to B, and airlines don't want their planes not flying, do they?
No.
It's pretty much a 24/7 business. People fly on Christmas Day, don't they? When all said and done.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, again, I'm no expert, but I think they will just fly a normal Monday schedule.
Yep, I'm all for that.
20 more likes. So
Thanks, Shredderhead. We're on the countdown, folks. 20 more. 12 minutes.
I think if everyone aboard that Air Alsie.
Listen, if this was 2020 cricket or something, we could knock those runs off, I reckon. We'll knock them off. We'll be fine. Listen, it's been a fantastic group in the chat again. It's zipped past. Moderators, I'm just going to say one and all. So Alibi 58, Ken Alloway, Nell W, Dopey Gorp. You'll have noticed as well, stellar contribution from Alexandra Wood supporting the moderators in the chat. Alexandra, absolutely spot on, and of course I've got to give you an extra shout out for giving us a plug with another streamer.
Yeah, definitely. And again, thank you to them as well.
Absolutely. And it's given me something to fall into tonight as well, actually, because Geneva interests me quite a lot.
I'm still reeling from Simon Kirby tricking me with Geneva.
Yeah, he'll be cock-a-hoop about that. He'll be talking about that on somebody else's stream, probably Lewis's stream. Just remember, Simon, it was Eddie you snuck in with that one, not Mark. Mark's got his own foibles. He's already got enough black marks on his score sheet. Oops, plane's getting away from me. They're going to have to chop these bushes down in the foreground. Even on the manual focus, it just hooks on it. They ain't gonna, I'm pretty sure about that. We'll probably end up looking to raise our position.
Although what I would have to say is, they look relatively maintained at a certain level, whether that's the sort of standard level. Yeah. There's bushes to the right and left that they have to maintain.
Maybe it's annually trimmed or something,
yeah,
that's just the growth so. In between cuts.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Tell you what, it has to, I mean, apologies if you're a Southampton fan in the chat, it'll be us tomorrow, hypothetically, but it must sting quite a lot as a player, because they obviously just sat on board. It mustn't be a great atmosphere.
Don't be annoying them. We're hoping they're going to subscribe to us, as they're sitting there wondering whether they're going to.
I'm sure they will save themselves at Leicester City's expense.
No, they don't have to. No, they do not have to do that. That's above and beyond. Forest, we'll take that. Oh man, oops, a bit blurry there.
No, but I mean, must be quite a. Won't be quite as lively as some of the flights to Tenerife and Alicante.
I think they need the bird patrol out here. There's quite a few birds just taking the Sunday evening air. I've not heard any shots being fired off. We usually wonder whether they're being pointed my way. Oh, Shredderhead, thank you. It's you one and all in the chat. We'd take our hats off at this end. In fact, my hat's come off now. Eddie's come out hatless because he thought it was going to rain, which, you know, was the right thing. But yeah, you people are just fantastic, one and all. One and all. We'll point the camera, do a bit at this end, but it's the chat that makes a difference. think on, and I know I've said it earlier in the chat, but different people have got different interests and different plans tonight. But shout out for our friend Mark at North Sky Aviation. He has a premiere on tonight at 6:30, so if you're wanting further aviation fix, he's definitely worth checking out, folks. That's also on my itinerary. Sadly I'll not be able to catch it live, because by the time we've packed the box up here, got back to the car, we'll be kind of en route. But when I get down to having my tea, looking forward to that. Oh, Shredderhead, that is so kind. Hope to see you again, my friend. I mean, that's the thing, we see a lot of people, and you know, it's, you know, we say, if you like what we do, please stay with us. I mean, we are small, we're not looking to be gargantuan. Peter Hall, hello to you, my friend. You've caught the back end of the stream, but you are nevertheless very welcome. Talking to Mark, my son Eddie at the side of me.
But yeah, early for the Edinburgh stream tomorrow, that's what I will say.
There you go, very sage words and entirely accurate. Do you know what, I'm just going to have a quick sip of this delicious mineral water.
Do it away from the microphone.
You know, when the editor's out on location, things just ramp up a bit. Oh, you got the mic now, Ed? Go on.
I'm just enjoying watching the chat.
Well, you know, I've often said, and this is sometimes why I miss stuff, because actually I'm drawn into the chat. It's almost like, I don't know if people can remember the old Robin Hood cartoon with that snake with those big eyes giving it the old trust in me thing, like hypnotic eyes. Well, the chat's got a hypnotic quality to it.
The Disney version.
Well, anyway, let's just have a quick look at the Air Alsie, because it would be thoroughly embarrassing if somehow it managed to evade our interest. So that just looks like a lot of kit being shoved on, probably. I'm surprised they're not using it. Oh, maybe so they're boarded, both doors are closed.
Maybe a nice slow pan of that aircraft to appreciate it.
Would you like that?
Yeah, I'd like that.
This is an editor's cut thing, so I'm not going to bring it in too close, because it'll get blurry.
Yeah,
Alsie Express.
Just enjoy it. You could tell I'm a bit of a aviation nerd, because I'm enjoying the font on it. I just haven't seen any of these aircraft before ever, so I'm just actually viewing it through the camera as we speak, because it's got a zoom that my human eyes can't provide. So that's lovely. That
is that Finnish registered OY?
See, I've got a feeling that Sunderberg Pure Instinct, and again I could be doubling down on my list of errors today, but I have a feeling
Hey, you're doing better than I am.
I have a feeling it's, I'm going to say Denmark, but the chat will put me right, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, well listen, something's beetling along, looks like a Ryanair. I know it would have been caught in the chat. It's the Krakow flight, so it's going to come across the shot in a minute, folks, so we'll just pick it up from there. There we go, we're off to Krakow. I was just going to say, Southampton players, I know you've probably still got your ears ringing from being told off by the manager, but fancy shining your light at the portal, we might film you. So really it's about the planes, isn't it, not the other bits. Nell's counting us in on that 200 likes, 18 more. We're getting there, folks. 18 more. Counting down. I think I'd be surprised. Air Alsie looks like it's transponding out the corner of my eye. Is that what they're saying in the chat? Oh, sorry, you're right. It's not. Yeah, you're right. There's a couple of cartoons in the 70s. It's Jungle Book. Yeah, I'm thinking of. There was a cartoon Robin Hood version, wasn't there, in the 70s? But no, it's Jungle Book. Thanks for keeping me straight on that one.
And thank you to Ian Finlay and Philip Ross, who've saved some of my pride today. It is Denmark, where Sunderberg is from.
Oh, there you go.
So there we go.
You've sent Eddie, or you'll be sending Eddie home pretty happy with his geographical mastery.
So actually, I'd say it's language knowledge, because it's that O. I think with the line through it, I feel it's something that maybe the Danish language is more frequent in their language than other languages, but I don't know. Yeah,
Alexandra's confirmed the Air Alsie's pinging, so I reckon that is going to go hopefully more or less on time. So those of you who are sitting there to save the day with the like button to get us to 200, double century in cricket terms, you're going to get your chance to show what you can do. And of course, if you are minded to subscribe to us, we'd love you even more for that. But whatever you've chosen to watch the show, that's all we can ever ask. It's been a real pleasure this afternoon. I can't believe we're going home dry.
Good afternoon to you as well, Sue Major.
Oh, hi Sue Major, welcome back. Hope you've had a good Sunday.
7 away.
In fact, Sue, it's interesting because we think, and it's a hypothetical point, so we're in the last kind of 10 minutes of the show, but we think the plane of the day, and we think it's a shout anyway. Certainly picked up a few emojis from members. The Air Alsie ATR72-500 is just about to go, so you'll be able to lend your opinion to that debate before showtime finishes.
I'm saying it's in the balance. I want to hear what noise it makes when it flies overhead. Because,
you want it to sound like a bag of bolts or a big lawnmower?
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm expecting to hear, to be honest. It's on the move now from taxi, but we'll probably stick with this Ryanair as we're about to depart. This
will turn and burn. My money is on that. Sue, it's good to know you're doing well. Excellent. Tell you what, it does blend in the Air Alsie with the headline, doesn't it? Oop, crikey, keep the camera pointed at the right thing. There we go. Weren't hanging around, were we? Krakow, here we come. Courtesy of Ryanair and its Boeing 737. You'll probably hear some of the notes off the ATR now, actually. I was struck by the sky as that one soared above us. When you look at the way it looks, the different layers of cloud, it's like some kind of cake. Look at that. Obviously we've got the dark stuff more near us than a bit of blue and a bit of intermediate.
Chris Boy's asking what time's live tomorrow, Adam?
From 7:45, Chris, and let's find our ATR. It is. It's nearly snuck out in its Special Forces coloured livery. So 7:45, and we'll be on air till about 1:30, weather permitting. We're certainly going tooled up to be on air till 1:30 in terms of electrical planning, you know, battery powers and so forth. The show will probably actually finish slightly after that, depends. We're hoping to close out with the Delta Airlines Boeing 767, which is due out at 13:35. We also get the Qatari Dreamliner in around 1:15, but certainly if everything goes to it, the Delta 767 will be the final plane of the show. That is the guess. Got to be honest, throw it out there, folks. Oops, crikey, I'm keeping up with this one, visualising the 767. Quite a nice way to close out, make the most of these 767s while they're still in the sky. Long may that continue. Not convinced they do that great on economy, mind.
I think obviously not anything compared to the latest more modern aircraft, but I think they retrofit quite a lot of older airframes with more efficient engines, and
there is an in-life process, isn't there? Yeah. Absolutely, exactly that, Eddie. There's an in-life process which kind of smooths over the edges to an extent. There we go. It's like 2020 cricket. One big six will do it.
I'll be very touched and grateful for everyone that well, for just coming to watch us, to be honest, and coming to watch the aviation action here at Newcastle.
Nell, if Peter's thinking of popping out into the garden, tell him just to hang fire a minute. We might need him. It could be hubby 200 today rather than 201. Of course, if he gets the 200 one, we'll have to get him his own emoji when we've actually got the means of having more emojis.
Could there be a flip-flop range?
There's not going to be any flip-flops.
Okay. Thought I'd ask one more time.
Tony McCall, thank you very much, my friend, and yeah, definitely look forward to catching up tomorrow. Say, it's quite nice when a bonus pop-up works as well as this has. We've enjoyed it, certainly airside, and the support's been awesome. Really has. I'll be honest, Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation thought we were barking mad when we said we were going to do it, because at the time, you know, when you look out the window and the weather doesn't look great, but yeah, it's worked out. Something's overhead that sounds quite throaty. I wonder if you can hear it on the microphone. 3 likes to go, Alibi. Oh my lord, the deficits, we're closing rapid. Our closing speed is insane. Oh, Nell, thank you. Peter, thank you.
I think someone's probably holding back to see what the Air Alsie takeoff looks like.
Well, listen, this is one of those moments, isn't it?
I would, if I was watching right now.
Is that what you do,
I would think, is this takeoff really what I want to see? And I would like, if I like the takeoff, I'd hit the like.
It's going to be that, is it?
Yeah.
Would you double down on that though and hit the subscription button too?
I'll probably check out the show tomorrow.
You took too long to answer. That's not the right thing at all.
I'll check out the show tomorrow, and I
Hang on a minute.
2 and 2, like it.
That was a planted question, like they use in politics.
It's a House of Parliament question. Would you say that?
Although we don't do politics, only political bias.
do,
Political
no,
bias
yeah.
is the only politics on this channel.
Let's enjoy this Air Alsie.
Yeah, I think you're right, Tony. I think Mrs. Plain Sailing Aviation does think that. I did say, do you fancy coming and doing a show? Because, you know...
It's done.
Oh, there's an EasyJet pushing back, so we could get one more plane, actually.
Probably 201's done it.
Oh, has he done it? Easy 201. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me concentrate on the plane of the day, possibly. Yeah. It's a candy store moment, that was. We're all about the planes first. I bet nobody's asking on that flight if they're going to a club afterwards.
Even the noise I felt quite sombre as it went overhead. I don't know if I'm adding meaning.
Well, here we go, folks. As you've been such a great crowd, let's just see what the chat says about that. We'll see what the emoji ski. Ken Alloway has given it. Ooh, Ryan has given it plenty. Full beans. Oh, thanks Rainer as well. Thanks to everybody. So Alexandra Wood, yep, EasyJet, we're going to pull that one in, folks. I think that would be the polite thing to do. Right, we were talking about the 200 likes. So anyway, 199, 199. They did it. Trade point. Oh, right. Peter, you're a legend, mate. We will get on with that emoji. There's something amazing about how that works.
We've got a new subscriber there. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation, Lily BH. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for your kind words. Live again tomorrow from Edinburgh.
And I'm going to say, I'm just going to jump in here. David Palfreyman, great stream. Well, thank you very much. Great chat. That's all you folks. But here's the thing. Yes, the mods absolutely rock on this channel. Absolutely rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Alibi 58. Ken Alloway,
Dopey
LW,
at the start,
Dopey Gorp,
yeah.
and to be honest as well, and Alexandra Wood has been pitching in left, right and centre on Flight Radar. In fact, I'm starting to think she was based in Stockholm at one point, reading it straight off the keyboard.
I think our members have been brilliant as well with the emojis, with their comments, with their chats, with the conversation. Obviously,
point the camera.
first time viewer, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we've enjoyed it. It's
been great fun, hasn't it? And oddly, nothing seems to have run out of power or needed a battery change. Although I've got 18% left on the encoder I've just spotted. Should be good for me, yeah. Just want to make sure we close down order. Look at that sky. I'm going to take a quick picture, folks, because that's a bit of a contrast. Got a slate grey. Not that I'm a very sky enthusiast, but hey ho. So this looks like this will be the last plane, I think. Although I'll rely on our super sleuth Alexandra to tell me if anything else is on finals or transponding, but I think we'll close down nice and orderly with this one if there's no immediate action.
Yeah, I think unless that Logan Air pushes back for
Yeah, I don't think it's
inexplicably.
I don't think it's gonna.
No.
That ATR42 never came in, did it? Or have I just got lost in the excitement of the show?
No, it did. What, the Logan Air?
Logan Air one, yeah.
So we could be expecting an arrival.
Yeah.
But
Michelle Johnson, oh my lord, there we go. Michelle, just pan the camera with that one.
Camera, yeah.
Thanks, mate. Eddie is actually all over this, like man of the match. Oops, sorry. Michelle, thank you so much. You have been a kind and regular supporter of the channel. That is so kind of you. God, I didn't miss that. You know, when it streams along, because I was just going to say, Les, thank you, Les Donaldson, kind feedback. Layla, thank you to you, and of course for your very kind super chat. Blooming heck, Michelle, what are you Michelle's just taking me off balance. She's double super chatting us. Listen, incredibly generous, and we are incredibly touched.
Thank you very much to both of you. If I've gone quiet,
he's on camera.
I'm not usually on camera, so my mind is fully.
Do you know what? You take this one out, because I think that you have literally helped keep me on the show here.
But yeah, thank you very much to both of you guys, because it means a lot to us, and
it means more than a lot. It means a hell of a lot more. So I always say, everything we do, everything we take, goes straight back on the action. It's as simple as that.
The search begins for more aviation experiences to bring you all at home. We'll see what we can do.
And certainly those of you that are members, look out for the members post update, which will be going out imminently, covering where we are with the Facebook page, but as importantly what's happening in May in terms of away fixtures. We've got a couple of, I think, couple of really juicy ones that you'll enjoy early heads up on.
Definitely. Just enjoying watching this EasyJet pilot testing out his air controls. It's doing, I can't remember what the word is for the rear ailerons, I think. Can't remember what they are, but it's really just checking everything's working, I'd imagine. Or, well, obviously everything's working. But
Alibi, as long as that rain's played itself out by the morning, buddy, I'll be a happy camper. Ali, thanks for your support, buddy. Sorry, I'm bellowing over Eddie's shoulder. He's probably going to put a claim in for industrial deafness. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, mate. Been a pleasure to be in your company. If you're going to stay with the camera, I'll take the iPad off the easy. Can I just reach under you without disturbing you? Okay, brilliant. Team Sport at this end. Team Sport in the chat. Ian Finley, if you're about tomorrow, do feel free to come and say hi. I don't know if the weather will be that tempting. Sue Major, I'm very personable. That is very kind. The mods definitely are. I think they rub off on me in that sense, because we're in great company. Karen Monson, welcome back. You've been enjoying the biscuits in the lounge, have you? Listen, it's thank you for saying hi, and it's great to have you with us. The chat has rippled along at a decent clip today, so all good really. It's going to be one of those days where I don't sleep well tonight through excitement, excessive excitement. That's what.
Oh, you need to sleep well. You got to drive tomorrow, so.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll get there in the end.
We'll put on Leicester versus, who do we play in the week? Leicester versus Leeds. See if that sends you to sleep.
I think Leicester versus Leeds could well send me to sleep.
Sorry, Leicester boys, if you're listening.
Christopher Boys enjoys our to and fro, so thank you, Christopher. It's just as well we get on, really, and I'll be quiet so the plane, you can hear the plane noise, then we'll close out to camera. Like it was treading water for a minute, wasn't it?
There you
Eddie's
go.
having fun getting to grips, which is actually quite an awkward transition shot here. So he got much closer to it than I thought. So you've got a rough idea where the angles flow. Do us a favour, Eddie. Would you mind just zooming around?
It's zoomed out, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just go to camera at the end. I'm just checking where we're at. Right, folks. Fantastic show, fantastic support. I'm going to say it again, the mods on this channel rock. Alibi, Ken, Dopey Gorp, Nell, Alexandra controlling flight radar on a pan-European scale. Absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Special shout out, of course, to Layla Bergman and Raina and Michelle as well, Michelle Johnson. All have supported the channel either through super chats or in Rainer's case with a donated membership. All of those things have the same impact and we're intensely grateful for that. I can't wait to be able to bring you Edinburgh tomorrow. I was really gutted that we cancelled yesterday because we've had a couple of those now, and when this lent itself to us, just had to grab it with both hands, and I'm grateful for the magic support we've had. As I was saying earlier, we've still got Edinburgh tomorrow with more movements than we'd had today, so we've kind of won all ends up. Just diving back into the chat, sorry if I've missed anybody at close off. Paul Usher, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate your support today. Thanks, Dopey Gorp. You're a stellar friend of the channel, my friend. Honestly, I don't know. It could be like the Oscars. I don't want this to be one of those Oscar-winning type things, but it's just been brilliant. Absolutely buzzing at this end. I'm going to have to say a big shout out and thanks to Eddie as well, who guests periodically. Last time out for Eddie, it was Dublin, which we had great fun, but a lot of technical trouble. Today, it's been a pleasure to be able to have a bit of to and fro camera side as well. So, as many of you as possible, we'd look forward to seeing you Edinburgh Airport tomorrow from 7:45 through to around 1:30. For those of you who think memberships might interest you, that option exists on that little $sign towards the bottom of the chat, also on our page, but no hard sell on that. You'll make your own minds up. But whether we're super chatted, donated memberships or memberships themselves, everything goes on the channel. Nothing goes anywhere else. And of course, watching us, first and foremost, it's that. Everything else, likes, subscriptions, they're a bonus. So have a great Sunday evening, whatever it is you're doing, and I really hope to see as many of you as possible tomorrow. Have a great Sunday evening. I nearly lost track of the days. Bye now.